All right, so if you can hear me, everyone, can you please raise a thumbs up sign on your... All right, thank you. Just let me know, Sir Gigo, if we will start. By the way, Sir Gigo and myself will be facilitating this presentation for tonight. The first speaker would be our medical researcher, Sir Gigo, and I'll be the second one. And hopefully, the summary of the presentation will be discussed or will be presented by our CEO herself, Dr. Sheila Pitiru. So we have incoming participants. So is it all right, Sir Gigo, if in 5 minutes or 2 or 5 minutes we can start?
Yeah, sure. So we can do this. Don't want to be too late. May
Yeah.
trabaho pa bukas yung iba. Oo.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Doc. What is this? These people here are going to attend? Or what? It's a different training.
This one is a general business. It's a business preview. There are two
Okay,
speakers here.
okay.
Nauna na po yung product speaker from the leaders, and then the one speaking right now is one of our trainers for our incoming or upcoming boot camp this October 28th, Sir Alvin Esperil, one of the core
So
leaders here in Davao.
This is in Davao, no?
Yes, this is the office in Davao, and I am here in
Wow.
one of my cubicles. So
May time ako tignan ng office, October 12. Hindi ko alam.
yes,
Let's see.
yes, sir.
Bahala
You
na.
just message me, so you can be here.
Yeah,
You can
let's
visit
see
the
if I
office.
can get out. Let's see how it goes.
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, if it's not too far, before I fly back to Manila.
Sure.
It's
Sige lang,
amazing.
sir.
Mm.
So everybody is almost everyone here.
Wait, the
Yes,
ones
sir.
attending the Zoom are different from the people here. You know?
Yeah,
No, different.
some of the leaders here in Davao or some of the members here in Davao will also be attending the Zoom. But currently they're finishing the business presentation. It started at 5 p.m. and it is
Okay.
almost at its end.
Okay.
We're still
So
getting it
you're
done.
ready, we can begin kung ready na.
Yes, I'm just waiting for Jonathan.
Okay.
Oh, I think he's already here. Sir Jonathan, are you recording this? I failed to record this last time. So
Kaya ang I'll make it shorter para magkasya.
all right.
Ayan, John
Dito
Cabin,
na daw siya.
recording na.
Recording na. All right.
Okay.
If everybody is okay, if everybody is ready, anyway, ongoing naman na admission ng ating Zoom meeting. Probably we can start now.
Okay. Can we? But not cloud recording. Ano ibig sabihin ni Sir ni John?
It's okay. Sa desktop niya i-record.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. We have 23 participants as of the moment. Probably mag-add yan later. All right, so welcome everyone to our, what is this? This is our third Zoom session discussing about our newly launched product, STEMULATOR. Your speakers for tonight would be all about the product ingredients, the impact on our health, on our cellular health will be discussed by Sir Gigo, and all about the mechanisms that are happening inside the cell affecting these products or these ingredients will be discussed by myself. So welcome everyone. Take it away, Sir Gigo.
Yes, good evening everybody. If just comment, I can type on kasi I'm using the iPad and my laptop to I streamlined this presentation. so that we don't go sideways. We will take a look first today on the ingredients of one product. Huwag muna natin isama-sama yung lahat. And this will be the mesenchyl. Okay, so if you are taking down notes, I don't know if Doctora will give you a copy because I will be sending this to her.
Surely.
But it's quite important that we understand the why we age and how aging is so related to many diseases. The chronological aging and biological aging are now interchangeable. No? Ang ibig sabihin ko, people are getting old at a much younger pace. And why is that? Today I had just a call, 10-year-old, meron na siyang problema sa bone cancer, osteoblast. So what is really happening in the human body, why this is happening around. If you want to head your paper, you can put hallmarks of aging and how STEMULATOR is involved in mitigating this. Mitigating is how regulating and everything, because not all the compounds have the same effect. Kaya po pinagsama-sama ito ng nanosci is because although they have similar effects on aging, they have specific effects. That's why they are combined in one product. That's important. No? There are 9 characteristics of aging when identified. Okay, I don't know if you could write this down quickly. We'll go through them and we will number them later. First is gene stability or genome instability. Genome is, these are all the chromosomes inside the cells, you know, the how they interact with each other. Second is telomere loss. I don't know if you attended the talk of Ma'am Sheila, wherein these are like the yung mga takip ng mga chromosomes, no? Pag napuputput dyan. Epigenetic changes, number 3. Number 4, protein disposition networks. Number 5, impaired nutrition sensing. Number 6, mitochondrial dysfunction. Number 7, cellular senescence. Older cells which don't want to live. No? Then stem cell failure. We are talking about stem cells. We are if fail yan in different ways. Aging is quickened, mobilis, and changes in intercellular communication. Okay? The first one, if you want to head it, is gene stability. GNE, stability, genome instability. What's the definition of this? The genetic stability of a multicellular organism is reliant, and if you're going to write only one word on your piece of paper, is reliant on accurate DNA replication. Ibig sabihin, yung DNA, yung information na pinapasa ng DNA to other cells is mirrored. The more perfect ang transfer, the more age is delayed or disease is delayed. Pag hindi na po kopya yan, di ba, pag nagpa-Xerox kayo, yung first copy maganda, yung second copy medyo maganda pa rin, yung third copy parang iba na, hindi na siya yung ano. Ganun lang po yan. Success at various levels of DNA repair systems in the cells. It depends on the accuracy of the replication. If you want to write something, so the gene stability depends on the accuracy. The main goal is that DNA transfer informations to other cells in the most identical fashion as possible. Dapat identical sana siya. Kung ilalagay nito yung parang mga information about how to prevent diseases, how to is possible. We all have DNA. We're not talking here about transferring your blue eyes kasama yun sa DNA. Kung blue ang mata mo, lilipat sa anak mo yun. Okay, these are the things. But we are talking here about when it comes to aging. Incomplete or unfaithful mirroring or sequencing of DNA information leads to a shortened lifespan and mitochondrial diseases. Marami pong diseases na happen in the human body. Okay, some of them are viral, etc. Mitochondrial means like new diseases which are happening right now because people are growing older chronologically. Ang ibig ko sabihin, mas matanda, mas mahaba ng lifespan ng tao ngayon. Kaya pumapasok po yung mga mitochondrial disease na yan. Okay? So, although in the past people lived longer, but now the diseases that were not around, like Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, major dementia, wala po yan 50, 100 years ago. So what is happening? Okay, so we will delve into that. Bakit po yung mga sakit na yan, na wala naman sa lolo natin, they died of natural causes, they were lucid and sharp until the day they died at 92 or 93, but now, people are getting Alzheimer's disease at the age of 50. Bakit ganon? So yan ang ating pag-aaralan. In genetically stable individuals, the period of accumulation is longer. So they live longer. Ang ibig ko sabihin, what it means is yung accumulation of toxins, the wrong information in the DNA is spread out. So mas maganda yung mirroring, which means they will live longer because mas maganda yung mga anak, pareho ng nanay from the DNA. In humans, there appear to be two subgroups that age in different rates. The slower aging group have better DNA repair systems. So yung nakikita niyo pong mga tao na parang ang bagal nila magkaedad, tulad ni Doc Lanin, tsaka ako. Hindi, just kidding, no? Mas maganda yung repair systems ng DNA namin or the people. I am proud to say, I am probably one of them. At 64, I have to say, sino pa example gagamitin ko, no? I don't know. I can even play basketball now. No problem. I can run. I can do the things I used to do when I was 30. Why? Because we have, for the past 15 to 20 years, I have made sure that I follow kahit papano a few things that will delay my aging. I don't want, who wants to grow old ba na crippled? Di ba? Trabaho kayo for many years and then you retire sick. You retire at 65 and you are sick. So what happens? You are sick because you did not take care of your biological aging. And now we have the product to do that. The first compound in our messenger cell is pterostilbene. Pterostibane. Again, spell ko ulit. Pterostilbene, Pterostilbene. So we would like to say pterostilbene or P-pterostilbene. Okay lang yun for more understanding. If you're following me, can you just put number 1 there so I see the screen? Because it's hard. I don't interact with everybody. Okay, very good. Large. Okay, hello. Say hi, Nicole. Okay, good. Mark. Oy, si Mark. Ang dami. Well, so okay, nasa number 1 tayo ha. Mamaya itatype ko number 2 pa. At least pasusundan yun, nasa number 2 na tayo. Okay? Ang ginagawa ng pterostilbene, it inhibits production of inflammatory cytokines. Itong cytokines na to, these are messengers. These are helping the human body. They transfer, para sila mga mailman, para sila post office. Nagka-transfer sila ng messengers ng messenger. But after some time, nabobroken yung kanilang transfer. Nagkakaproblema sila sa transferring. Yan ang pterostilbene, to make sure that the messengers are repaired. Okay, galing ng pterostilbene. If you want to be technical about it, the TNF-alpha and interleukin-6 inhibits the expression of eNOS and COX-2. These are some familiar to you. NF-kappa-B, STAT3, MAPK, P13, AKT signaling pathways. Lahat po yan signaling sa loob. It's all about signaling, transferring the correct signal. Pag nag-ano kayo sa ano, pero di ba may game yun, yung 20 na people, ibubulong mo sa una kung ano, a certain sentence. Okay? Ibubulong. Pag abot, for example, ang unang sasabihin, uy, ang ganda ang sarap ng pagkain sa Starbucks today. Okay? Yun lang sasabihin mo. Ang sarap, sasabihin mo, ang sarap ng frappe or frap sa Starbucks. Yun ang message. Pagdating sa second, okay pa. Ang sarap ng frap sa Starbucks. Pagdating sa tatlo, ang sarap ng Starbucks. Pagdating sa apat, ang sarap ng frap. Pagdating sa lima, ang sarap ng, ano ba yun? Ang sarap.
Star.
Oh. Pagdating sa 20th person, ano na kaya yung message? Yan. Yan ang nangyayari sa DNA. When these compounds are not present, I'm telling you how important, we're delving into how important these compounds are so that the transfer of information from the first person to the last person, from the first DNA to the next, to the daughter DNA, to the cells, to the chromosomes, is perfect. So yung first message, ang sarap ng frap sa Starbucks. Pagdating sa 20th, ang sarap ng frap sa Starbucks pa rin ang message. Clear? Can you put number 1 if you understood it? Okay? Good. Arlene, understood it, Nicole? Okay? I want to transfer this to you in the clearest, in the most simple way. Kasi hindi naman po kayo dito para hindi magbigay ng hindi naman tayo magkakaroon ng we want to convince the patients. Okay. Some of the diseases that pterostilbene will prevent because of doing this are cancer, lipid peroxidation, and pancreatitis. Yan. Very nice. The second compound is astragaloside 4. Ano ba yung mechanism ng astragaloside 4 to ensure gene stability or hindi sila magkagulo-gulo? Maraming genes yan. You want to keep them in order, may rule. Ang ginagawa ng astragaloside 4, improved lipopolysaccharide-induced cardiac dysfunction. Ang ibig sabihin, some of these compounds have a particular area wherein they fix the genes. Astragaloside is particularly for the heart, which is the most important. Kung magka-problema tayo sa puso, wala na. Hirap, di ba? Liver, medyo masasave pa natin sarili natin. Yung kidneys, pwede pa. Bone. But once your heart stops, everything stops. That's the end of you. Ang ginagawa niya, it inhibits autophagy. Kasi nangyayari kasi yung katawan natin, kinakain yung sarili natin mga cells. So if you start eating your own body, what's going to happen to you? You will die. Nauubos ka eh. Ang ginagawa ng astragaloside 4, it stops autophagy. If you can write that down, we can look it up na ano ba yung autophagy? Autophagy is consumption of the body's own tissue as a metabolic process occurring in starvation in certain diseases. There's a good side to autophagy, which is when we go to cancer cells. Pero sa kanila natin pag-usapan na. Ano pang ginagawa ng astragaloside 4? It regulates the expression of mitochondrial energy. If we go to the cell, and Doc Lane will explain that later, the most important part of the cell and the powerhouse of the cell is the mitochondria. Pag hindi po natin aalagaan yung mitochondria niyan, problema. Metabolism, mag-accumulate yung mga proteins dyan, many problems occur pag wala na. Okay. Identification, okay. Thus we conclude that astragaloside 4 plays an important role in maintaining cardiac homeostasis. So the astragaloside 4 will balance everything that your heart needs. And it is also involved in cardiac remodeling. So nire-remodel niya yung puso ng tao. Now, how important is this compound in STEMULATOR? Okay, start early. Take it now. If you are 28 years old, you have to be taking this. Okay, let's go. Terostilbin, nasa number 1 pa po tayo, no? Are you following me? If you're put number 1, if you are there, G stability. Very good. I don't want to take too much of time, but we have to cover this eh. Hindi naman pwede 10 minutes ito. So okay, vitamin D3, okay? Ang vitamin D3 has direct effects, ito na, lagay nyo, on the epigenome, on the whole ecosystem of the genes, and the expression of more than 1,000 genes. Lagay mo dyan. Vitamin D3. Pag hindi kayo masyado napapaaraw, hindi ba niya nakata sa England at saka sa all these countries, Antarctica, where you think people don't have much sunlight, ang dami nilang sakit. Their bones are brittle. Many. 1,000 genes yan. Masalamat tayo. May araw tayo bigyan ng Diyos. But, Equicell ensures that we get this every day kasi there are weeks. Ito, tulad ngayon, maulan. Saan natin kukunin ng vitamin D natin? Tapos, kayo, pag iba sa inyo, lagay nyo smiley face kung kayo to, tatawid lang ng kala, nakapayong pa. Oh, nako. That's why breast cancer is so high. Every day I receive protocols for breast cancer. Wala eh. Nagtatago tayo sa araw. Ayan. Binigay na nga ng Diyos na libre eh. O ayan, meron tayong vitamin D3 ngayon to protect us kung ayaw nyo magpa-araw. Eventually, we will differentiate that from vitamin B2. Okay? Understood? Importante vitamin D3. Now, fisetin. If you are with me, we're still at number 1. Can you put number 1 on the screen? Fisetin has been found. Very good, Arlene. Bakit una lagi to si Arlene? Very, very attentive. Very good. Henry. Oh, Mayet. Hoy, Mayet. Is that you, Ma'am Mayet? Hello. We met before, di ba? Si Mayet, of course. I was there in Tago before. SFF pa yun pa na. Nandito po po hanggang ngayon. Hi, Ma'am Mayet. Nice to see you. You're still with us. Thank you. Okay? Fisetin has been found to induce cell death in prostate cancer cells. Ayun. Siyempre gusto ko rin, kahit nasa DNA tayo, kailangan ko pakita dito kung anong practicality nito. Okay. Yung mga taong prone sino bang taong prone sa prostate cancer? Lahat ng kalalakihan from 50 years old and above. Okay? So ang ginagawa niya, kabaliktad na autophagy. Yung autophagy, masabayan pag kinakain mo yung own cells mo. May intelligence po ang fisetin na instruct niya to only attack the cells which the body does not need. Wow. And these are the cells that cause prostate cancer, the cells that need to be induced na apoptotic effect. Ibig sabihin, gusto natin sumabog sila para hindi tayo magka-prostate. So we showed that fisetin treatment resulted in induction of apoptosis in the LN-cap cells. These are the prostate cancer cells with the activation of the caspase cascade. Saka na natin explain yan. Basta tinitira niya ang prostate cancer cells. Understood? Okay. Kung tapos na tayo sa number 1, lagay yung number 1. Are you with me? Takot si Ardit, palang attentive. Jonah, okay, one more. We only have a few. I don't know, Doc, how many people do we have now? Okay. Mark, hello, Lem. Yeah. I don't know how many people I can see. Thank you. Okay, now we are at number 2. If you're listening, you put number 2. Telomere attrition or telomere loss. Pang ilang beses na to, siguro by now, you already know what telomeres are. If you know what telomeres are already, can you put 2.2? Good. 2.2, hindi 2. Large. Okay, so yeah, medyo you are improving in your knowledge. Mayet, you understand. So these are the chromosomes, the telomeres are the caps para yung medyas sa taas. No? So, very good. Henry, excellent. Now, the hallmarks of aging, number 2, describes telomere attrition or loss as telomere shortening. Yun na lang. Lagay mo dyan. Telomere shortening. If you're taking notes, can you write 2.3, please? Okay, thank you. Can you write 2.3? If you are taking down notes, which means to say you have a paper and a pencil in front of you. And walang lying, ha? Very good. Di pwede cellphone. Mahirap ang cellphone sa ganito. Talagang papel. Gulat para matandaan yun yung I use paper and pencil all the time. I use my computer. You have to take the old tradition because, okay. Which is the gradual loss of protective caps. Alam, makita yung picture eh. Ayun, doon siguro doon pala sa group namin. The protective caps of the chromosomes. Okay? It limits the number of times the cells can divide. So it's very important that mas maraming times tayo makadivide yung cells. When your cells stop dividing, you die. Yan ang natural cause of death for people who reach 120 and all of a sudden, they're dead. Kasi tapos na po yung pag-replicate ng number of times ng cells. Kung maikli, kung konti lang yung number of times nagre-replicate yung cells mo, maikli ang buhay mo. And what's causing that? A lot of things, like lifestyle factors, okay, genetic, okay. Anong ginagawa ng astralocyte 4? If you're following me, we are still at number 2. Okay, can you put number 2? Okay, who can answer what number 2 is? Hindi lang number 2 lalagay mo. Anong number 2 sa hallmark ng aging? Anong number 2? Hindi sinulat o walang sumasagot. Telomere attrition. This, Arlene, I gotta give you a prize. Mayet, bakit nasa astrologos ka kaagad? Number 2 natin, attrition. Telomere attrition or loss. Okay? Okay. Makinig mabuti. Baka kailangan nyo ng kape. Okay? I've been a teacher for many years, so I know if you understand or not. I have ways of knowing. Okay. So, nakakaproblema yung mga vital organs. So, ang ginagawa ng astragaloside 4. So ngayon, lalagay na naman yung AS4 dyan. Kasi para makita nyo, for each hallmark, kung anong ginagawa ng each product. Okay? Ang ginagawa nito, the astragaloside 4 goes to the bone marrow to rescue the telomere. Ayan na lang, yun ang kanilang testing sa mice eh. Okay? Ito lang, if you want to be technical, it boosts TERT activation. Ito yung mga pathways, yung mga chromosomes na located in the brain, in the liver, in the heart, lungs, and bone marrow. Inuna ko yung bone marrow kasi gunungawa. Okay? So yung mga cells doon, yung mga genes doon, yung mga chromosomes sa brain, sa liver, sa heart, sa lungs, sinisave, nini-rescue. Lagay na natin, maganda yung word na rescue, but you remember, it rescues the telomeres located in these parts of the body. Okay, to be technical again, it promotes the activation of SERT-MERT pathway to enhance telomerase activity. Yung telomerase yan, yung enzyme na nilalagay, we will go into that. That is important so that the telomeres are not shorted. They are kept long and they are very sensitive to signal. Pag maikli na yan, maikli na yung signal, maikli na rin yung buhay mo. So, proof, astragaloside 4 is known to stimulate telomerase activity, thereby compensating telomere shortening. Let me repeat. Known to stimulate telomerase activity, thereby compensating telomere shortening. Mga studies po ito, hindi ito mga kinuha namin sa gubat or what. So ito, proof na talaga maganda yung mga compound sa loob ng stimulator. Okay, astragaloside 4 is believed to slow down the aging process by activating telomerase enzyme production and help cells live longer and function as they did when they were younger. May edad po rin ang cells. Okay? Bakit pag tinignan mo yung mga tao, bakit 80 na sila, bakit mukha pa rin, bakit bata yung mga artista, si Clint Eastwood, bakit? Kasi nga, may ginagawa sila, I'm sure. Those people are taking supplements. Okay? So their cells, even though they're 80 years old, chronologically speaking, their cells are probably 50 or 60 younger, or 30 years younger. Yung sa cell ito, hindi yung ano. Yeah, proof na yan sa astragalocyte. Meron na tayo. Okay. Ito na. All of the products do this, but it protects us from free radical damage, oxidative stress, yung reactive oxygen species, lahat ng items niyan, yan ang nagkukos po ng yung as we defined, ang oxidation is not oxygen destroying the iron. No? Oxidation, you can put it there, is defined as when an electron is removed from the cell. Okay? So there are two electrons. Each cell has two electrons. Isa nawala. What happens now? Magiging unstable na. Yun lang. Put it down there. Did you, who understood the definition of electron? Can you put number 2.0? Oxidation. Okay? Hindi po yung porque nalagyan ng hangin, nag-oxidize, hindi yun. We are talking here of oxidation of the cell. Good evening, Honeyboo. Very good. So we'll go straight, no? Yung mga late, please copy from your part, from your classmates. Okay. Trying to. So they protect the telomeres, the caps at the end of our DNA strands. Okay. If you want to be technical, ano ba yung telomerase na yan? It is also called terminal transferase. Is a ribonucleoprotein that adds a species-dependent telomere repeat sequence. So ibig sabihin, pag yung species-dependent, we are different from monkeys or from fish. So yung transfer ng information yun, the telomerase is important. That's an enzyme to make sure that the sequence, the 20 people are passing the same information to one another before it reaches the end. Okay? Yun lang. That's the way you can explain it to your clients. Yung information is passed on by this telomerase. Okay? Particularly, astragalus 4 activates neuronal cells. Ibig sabihin, ang astragalus 4 para sa utak. Yung mga cells sa utak. Which are the first cells that are destroyed when you grow older. So kahit fully functioning pa lahat ng muscles nung nagkakaedad, anong unang nag-fade? Yung utak. Because hindi sila kumakain ng astragalus 4. Yun lang ang ibig sabihin nun. Okay? Can you say yes if this is important information or not? Say yes. Can you write down yes? Yes. Very good. Very important. See? So nakikita mo ngayon, yung mga compounds, may sarili-sarili siya, kaya nilagay ni Ma'am Celia, may sarili-sarili siyang effect sa cells, sa DNA, sa telomeres, but in different areas and in different capacities. Okay? So expression of telomerase, reverse transcriptase in primary cortical neurons, pati spinal column mo. Okay? So you want to be technical about induces CREB activation followed by TERT and BC1 expression. Ito, first time natin na-encounter kasi hindi pare-pareho power. Yung iba talaga meron siyang yung iba, hindi ko makita talaga. Berberin, lagay niyo dyan. Anong number na tayo sa ating outline? Anong number sa hallmark of aging? Number 2? O again, ano yung hallmark na to? Can you answer? What is the hallmark? Number 2, telomere attrition. This, Arlene, you're going places. You are good. Telomere attrition. Nikki, thank you. Okay. So berberin, anong ginagawa? Ito yung sinasabi kong intelligent. This is different, ha? You have to listen. Anong ginagawa nito? May ginagawa siyang telomerase, pero medyo may kabaliktaran. Ang ginagawa niya is opposite. Tinitira niya yung telomerase. It is important. Telomerase ng cancer cells sa colon. Wow. Teka, this is a little hard to understand. It goes to show to you the intelligence of nature, the intelligence of that God had put into these products. Hindi niya ini-increase yung telomerase ng normal cells. Ang iniiklian niya yung telomerase ng colon cancer cells. Can you put that down? That is so important. Ang daming may colon cancer ngayon. Berberin ang sagot sa Besson cell. If you find this interesting, then you put opo. Are you listening? Oh, interesting, ha? So kung pag-explain nyo, sabi nyo, oh, may colon cancer ako eh. O anong kailangan niya? Uy, teka muna, saan ba yun? Astragalus ba yun? O ano? Fesity ba yun? Hindi, imberberin pala yun. Ganun yan. That's how you will explain it. People will understand that way. So ang studies resulted delayed cell cycle and doubling time. Ibig sabihin yung doubling, yung pagdodoble ng cancer cells 2.8-fold. Pinapadoble niya para talagang maubos siya. Kasi when they're doubling, they get weaker. When cells divide, they get weaker. They are strong when they are alone. Okay, saka na natin punta. So the decreased telomerase activity and level of HCT116, colon cancer cell line. Gusto mo lagay yun para maging para impressive sa mga tao. Oh, itong berberin, no? HC116. Ang galing yan, ah. Quercetin, we're still at number 2. Arrested. Ito na naman. Parang alam nila maraming magkakaroon ng colon cancer. It arrested colon cancer cell growth by modulating expression of aging proteins, including, ito na, yung mga sirtuin-6 and clotho. Ang spelling ng clotho, Klotho, it's an anti-aging protein secreted by the kidneys. You know, the product is designed. Meron tayong mga enzymes to protect our cells. Okay? Sinisikret yung clotho na yan. So, ang ginagawa ng quercetin, it enhances the secretion of sirtuin-6, hindi naman, enhances the activity of sirtuin-6 and clotho. Kasi meron tayong clotho sa kidneys pero humihina rin yun. Ang ginagawa ng quercetin, pinapalakas niya yung clotho. It's an anti-aging protein. Ayaw ng nature, tumanda tayo kaagad. Yan ang gusto nyo mangyari. And also inhibiting telomerase activity to restrict the telomere length, which is evident from qPCR analysis. Quercetin also exhibited DNA damage protection, if you want to be technical, by reducing proteasome 20S levels. Saka na natin pag-aralan kung ano yan. Because I don't want to give you so much information na maano kayo. Vitamin D3. If you're writing vitamin D3 down, can you put 2.7? Very good. Okay. Vitamin D3 may reduce telomere shortening also through anti-inflammatory and anti-cell proliferation mechanisms. Significantly low levels of telomerase activity creates short telomeres. So kung kulang ka sa telomerase, may yung telomeres mo, simple, which in turn signal exit from the cell cycle resulting in cell senescence and apoptosis. Pagka kulang yung telomerase mo, kulang ang telomeres mo, magkakaroon ka ngayon ng mga senescent cells, which we will take up in the 4th or 5th hallmark. Okay? So you remember this point. Pag senescence, these are the old cells which do not want to live. Okay, fisetin, okay, as we said, may mga cells which are different, and in a way, nakikita nyo how they act like stem cells. Kasi stem cells produce cells of a particular set, of a particular kind, because the heart cells are different from the kidney cells, are different from the brain cells. Iba-iba po yan. Itong fisetin naman, since it knows that's so important for the heart, it produces the stem cells, it lengthens the telomeres of the heart cells to prevent heart failure. Let me repeat. Fisetin or fisetin protects the telomeres of the heart to prevent a particular occurrence, which means death, which is heart failure. Is that important? Yes or no? Can you put down yes or no? Is that important? Yes. Are you going to use mesencel from now on? Yes or no? Kayo. Okay, bibigay mo sa kliyente tapos hindi mo pala ginagamit. Ako talagang wala na ako stock ng fisetin ng medyo masarap ng pakaramdam namin 2 months eh. Parang bata kami ngayon, parang teka muna, wala na akong supply ng mesencel. Paano ba to? Diyos ko! Ayan, naramdaman mo yung difference. Who's laughing? Can you put number 2 again? Okay. Okay. Number 3, very good. Epigenetic changes or alteration. That's the number 3. Sign or hallmark or marka ng paano tumatanda ang tao ng mabilis or mabagal. Let us go through this quickly so I don't too much. I want by 9 o'clock we are finished. These are the genes, yung epigenetics. These are the genes that, lagay mo lang, turn off and on. Off and on. Off to cancer, on to cancer. Off to diabetes, on to diabetes. Off to Alzheimer's disease, on to... Yan ang off and on gene. And it really depends on your behavior, on your decisions in life, on your lifestyle. Environment is there. There are 10,000 germs or toxins every day in the environment. Hindi natin masyado makakontrol yan. Pero what we can control is our behavior to turn off all these epigenetic factors. Yan, to turn, lagay mo lang yan, turn off and on. Lagay mo ng switch dyan para maintindihan mo. It is up to you. If you don't take this product, you're turning off. You're turning off the chance for you to have a better chance of delaying aging in your body. Okay? Diet, exercise. Kasama lahat yan eh. If you take care of your body, you'll be rewarded with a longer life. Who does not want a longer life? Who wants to live long? Yes or no? Put yes or no. Yes. Yes. Who wants to live long and healthy? Say yes, amen. Okay, lagay mo amen. Who wants to live long and healthy? Amen. Yes na yes, Arlene. Yan. Okay. Masagawa naman yun. Okay, you're going to live long. By 60, you're very sick, pero you live up to 80. So 20 years ka nagsasuffer. Gusto mo bang ganon? Hindi ko kailangan yung stimulator. Bakit? Haba ng buhay ng lola ko eh. Lolo ko, yung mga kwente, yung lolo ko, yung lolo ko. Okay, anong burden gagawin mo sa sarili mo sa pamilya mo? If you are sick, you die at 80 but you're sick at 60, sino kikita sa'yo? Hospital. Pag maaga ka namatay, morgue kikita sa'yo. Sino gusto mo kumita? Yung morgue o yung hospital? Ako, lahat ng inipon natin, ang mangyayari. Heart transplant, magkano? 10 million. Epigenetic, okay. Ito, medyo technical ito ha. Ginagawa nito, yung epigenetic alteration, changes, involves DNA methylation. You want to write it down. Histone modification. These are the sirtuins, which we will discuss in the future Zoom. Micro-RNA and ink RNA regulations. So may DNA tayo, may RNA. These are all the world, the fantastic world of the DNA and chromosomes. It's a different world there inside our bodies. There's a whole universe inside our bodies. Kaya special tayo lahat. Okay? Napaka-special natin. Don't think we have been forgotten. We have been made to be perfect. Okay. Astragaloside, increased cell apoptosis rate, reducing B catechin level. Saka ito, in detail, ASV4 triggered decline of BAX and rise of BCL2 and HCC levels and xenograft tissue. Sino na blows bleed? Lagay mo dyan, number 3. Manonosebleed pa tayo lalo pagka talagang in-explain natin. So huwag nyo masyadong isipin yan. Okay? Hindi kayo mamamatay, hindi kayo ma-heart attack. Okay? Cool lang tayo. Consistently, all the above na minention ko is achieved by AS4. When I say AS4, astragaloside 4, i-bleed na si Brent to. Ay, Brent! Lagay ka ng lagay mo bulak yung tenga mo, saka ilong mo rin. Ha? Okay, joke. Teka, masyado tayong haba dito. Okay? Brent, ba't ngayon ka lang? Ba't late ka, ha? Joke. Baka busy ka eh. Autophagic mechanism. Ito na. Yung autophagy for yung kinakain yung cells, okay, is ano niya, bakit ito? Tingnan mo na, bakit sino nakapasok? Ano? Sino tumatawa dyan? Baka ba-autophagy kayo? Ha? So, autophagic protective effect on cardiovascular diseases na lang, including heart dysfunction, myocardial hypertrophy, and cardiomyopathy injury caused by ischemia, hypoxic high glucose, and dexorubicin. But in other words, AS4, astragaloside 4, produces an autophagic mechanism to prevent you from all these types of heart diseases. Magaling ba? Yes or no? Hindi na yata. Tulog na yata kayo. Yes or no? Yes! Yan. Berberin. Anong number tayo sa hallmark? Bakit yes ang sagot? Number 3. Ito si Arlene talagang grabe yung kanyang yung focus niya. Ganyan dapat kayo. Berberin alters epigenetic modifications, disrupts microtubule network with Doclarine will explain that later, modulates HPV 1816 oncoproteins by targeting P53 in cervical cancer naman to. Okay, as I told you, all of them have assignments in which area to concentrate. Mamaya, bibigay contest ha. Fisetin, saan? Colon cancer yun? Oo, na nagkamali. AS4 sa puso, yung mga cells doon, yung mga DNA doon. Heart, okay? Etong berberin, cervical cancer naman. You know, I want to explain this to you in something that you can identify with, okay? That you can transfer to your clients and to the people, and you can help a lot more people. Itong P53 gene yan, binigay sa atin ng Diyos yan, siya ang nag-aano dyan. May mechanistic study including molecular docking. Ayan. Alam mo, hindi bara-bara ang loob ng katawan ng tao. There is order. As there is order in the universe, there's order on the planet, there's order in our government. I hope so. There is order ni Mrs. There is order in the human body. Okay? Pag yan ginulo mo at wala kang pakialam, wala din pakialam ang nature sa'yo at maaga kang mamamatay. Okay? People dying at 50, I can't understand it. I cannot understand why you have to die at 50. No. You're meant to live long and healthy life. Clear. Children who are sick because their telomeres are already damaged from the parents. Okay? O, sino ba naka-open yung ano dyan? Okay.
Yung code na nabili natin sa Palawan.
Wait, can you mute yourself? There's somebody coming in. Kindly mute. Okay.
Ada ka?
Sir Gigo, please unmute. Na-unmute, na-mute ata kita.
Okay, okay. Okay na? Can
Thank
you
you,
hear po?
yes.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Take two.
Take two. Sa berberin, lagay nyo po dyan. Hindi ko nalalagay ko. You will get a copy of this anyway if you want a copy. I'll send it to Doktora, okay? Significant DNA binding abilities. Kasi may mga threads yan yung DNA. May mga coating yan. Kumbaga sa ano, yung mga kable, yung wires, di ba nakikita nyo, meron sa loob yan. Okay, wire nyo, cable niyo. Pag binuksan nyo yan, may cover yan. At ang ginagawa yan, yung berberin niya ng trabaho niya, significant. Overall results indicate uptake of berberine through cell membrane depolarization. Ibig sabihin, hindi sila masyado nag-dedicate, hindi sila masyadong naglalayo. Wow. Causing disruption of the microtubule networks and biological DNA binding abilities that probably contributed to epigenetic modifications. Results of modulation in P53 and viral oncoproteins HPV 1816 further prove its potential as a promising chemotherapeutic agent in cervical cancer. Okay. So, ito naman. Berberin naman. Kaya wala ka pwede tapon sa mga products sa Messenger eh. May kanya-kanyang trabaho siya. Although they all have similar telomere enhancement, epigenetic things, you know, the telomere attrition, the gene stability, lahat sila may effect yan, pero may sarili-sarili silang other effects, particular to specific organs and tissues, which are absolutely fantastic. Okay. Vitamin D3, lagay mo yung vitamin D3. Ang ginagawa? Link to histone modifications. Ayan na. Ito yung mga CERT1 to 7 na minention ni Doc Sheila. So, mainly acetylization. Ito na. This is one, we have to spend just a little time here lang. Are you okay? Are you guys okay? Are you guys okay? Say okay, right? Okay. This is very, very important for you to understand. Okay? Medicines work, but eventually, again, because they are chemical, they cannot be acetylized. Ang spelling is A-C-E-T-Y-L-A-T-I-O. Ibig sabihin, they cannot be made organic. Let me repeat. Ang vitamin D3, ang gumagawa niyan, so lahat ng pinapasok mo sa katawan mo, ginagawa niyang organic and you can absorb. We will go into that dun sa nutrient sensing. Pag hindi siya na-acetylize, chemical pa rin ang tingin niya dun sa mga at hindi niya papansinin yun. Hindi niya papasok sa katawan yun. At magkakaproblema ka. That's why we are really more for nature because andyan na, binigay na ng Diyos yan sa'yo so that you know, eto, chemical ka, gagawin kitang organic. Yung histone modifications with the help of the sirtuins. I don't know if you understand it. If you understand it, 50%, can you write 50%? If you understand it, 25%, can you write 25%? 50% lang talaga. Saka na natin more into that. No? We will take up soon. They also affect DNA methylation. Methylation is a very, very important process that only vitamin D3 can these are the methyl groups that are added to the DNA molecule. These are very, very important. Nakita mo yung mga diagram ng DNA? Okay? They can change the activities of DNA. Yan po ang trabaho ng vitamin D3. That's why the sun is there. Why are we all around after so many thousands of years? Pasalamat ka sa sun. Nagdilagay ng Diyos dyan. Kung hindi, wala na tayo lahat dito. Okay? Ficetin, the last on number 3. Ano ba yung number 3? What is the third hallmark? Aber, anong sagot? Wala na. Wala na yatang tao dito. PGNet. Alam mo si Arlene? Arlene, paglagay ka ng picture nga dyan. Ficetin, it's very important for cancer because it prevents apoptosis resistance. Ito na. Yung mga cancer cells, ito medyo nag-giveaway na tayo because cancer is a very big hallmark of disease. So ang ginagawa nito, I can only understand this, I can only research so much to what I can give to you kasi ang cancer cells, ayaw niyan mamatay. Hindi yan senescent cells. Cancer cell na tayo. Ang ginagawa ng ficetin, it activates the mechanism P1-mTOR pathway. Gusto mo yung mechanism so that cancer cells will kill themselves. Yun na lang. Ano, importante ba ang ficetin? Well, this was in nature before. Kaya walang cancer noon. You cannot get it anymore. You can only get it from Equicell. Kawawa talaga. We're all candidates for cancer if you don't take STEMULATOR. Huwag niyong hindi pa champa-champa ang buhay. Okay? Yes, si Mayet. Mamayet, I'm sure you're still healthy because you've been with us for Mamayet, are you still healthy? Yes or no? Mayet, are you there? Okay, wala na. Number 4, loss of proteostasis or protein disposition networks. Yan ang number 4. I'll give you time to write it down. Number 4, hallmark of aging is loss of proteostasis of protein disposition networks. What is the loss of proteostasis? Proteo means protein, di ba? Aging cells accumulate damage and, eto na, misfolding proteins. Yung sa loob ng cells, nagpo-fold yan. Okay? Baka ka nagpo-fold ng paper. Okay? Ganda ng fold mo. Okay? Ito, nakikita yung papel. Okay, maganda yung fold mo. Ganda ng fold mo. Maya yung fold mo, ganito na. Oh, teka. Oh, yan na yung fold mo. Maya, ito na yung fold mo. Hindi na pareho, hindi na replicated. Wala na. If you are not folding, these folded proteins, wrong fold, wrong pass of paper, through functional decline and other destroys the protein homeostasis, leading to cellular viability and development of protein misfolding diseases such as Alzheimer's and Huntington's disease. Ang disease na Alzheimer's is caused, alam na natin yung cause, of the misfolded proteins. Mali ang pag-fold ng mga protein sa utak. Okay? You ask a doctor, what's the cause of Alzheimer's? Maybe they don't know. We know. So habang nagpo-fold, we need to chaperone. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang siya forever because of chronologically. Hindi lang siya forever maganda yung fold. Kailangan i-chaperone natin siya ng nutrition ng products that will guide the proper folding of the proteins so that we don't accumulate this with age and the cells. The chaperone, ibig sabihin, kailangan may kasama siya. Hindi siya pwede pupunta sa date na mag-isa. Okay? Chaperone yun. Ganon din yung mga cells sa katawan. Okay, may tumatawa, ha? Chaperone, ha? Okay. Mas babaya. Ito na yung papasok dito yung isang item sa loob ng cell, isang mechanism, isang makina sa loob ng cell, which Doctora will explain later, is the endoplastic reticulum. Yeah, pakita mo yung picture na mamaya yan. Bakit napaka-importante sa proteostasis ng endoplastic reticulum? Kung nag-grade 7 kayo sa biology, nadaanan nyo, sino nakadaan sa endoplastic reticulum? Nana-nightmare ako niyan. Mitochondria, ribosomes, endoplastic reticulum. Ang sarap yung pronounce eh. Who studied that in high school? Ha? Oh, si Arlene na naman. Hindi alam niyo ba kung anong endoplastic reticulum? O, di ba? Ano yan? Large, alam niyo large. Pag nai-stress yung endoplastic reticulum, unfolded protein response of the ER is activated. Ibig sabihin, yung endoplastic reticulum, siya yung in charge na mag-fold ng mga proteins properly para sa factory. Okay, ngayon, parang factory, ngayon, buong araw yung ginagawa. Pag na-stress. Okay? So, we have to relieve this job of the endoplastic reticulum to re-establish proteostasis. And what are the diseases associated with proteostasis or wrong homeostasis? Neurodegenerative diseases, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Iba, bata pa, may ALS na yan. Grabe. Mostly neurodegenerative diseases, which are the diseases associated with aging. So proteins with crucial and diverge, they function, they must fold faithfully to acquire appropriate three-dimensional conformation. So dapat three-dimensional. Maganda, perfect. Hindi two-dimensional, hindi one-dimensional, three-dimensional, parang prism. Ganda, no? Grabing design ng God, no? You know, the more you study this, the more you realize that their creator is there. You know, that's a side. If you doubt, hindi po chamba ito. Hindi po kayo chamba. Ha? Hindi chamba lahat ito. And now we are understanding it, and we're blessed to understand how to prolong people's lives and less suffering for them, you know. Nobody wants to suffer. I mean, really. Once their function is fulfilled, they need to be properly degraded. Dinidegrade yan eh. Parang chinichip mo, parang gumagawa ka ng statwa. No? Papatangusin mo ilong. Naayos mo yung ganyan. To hamper any probable damage. Dinidegrade din yan. Protein homeostasis or proteostasis comprises a complex interconnected network that regulates different steps of the protein quality control from synthesis and folding to degradation. Degradation means kasi pag time mo na to leave the body, it's time for you to leave the body. The problem is, we're going to the next one, when cells still want to stick around even though their time is over. Proteostasis failure has been reported in the context of aging and neurodegeneration such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. We will go through this quickly. So ang astragalized, pagka nag-wrong protein folding, nagiging inactive or toxic yung mga protina sa loob ng katawan natin, which overload degradation systems, which overload the DNA, overload the mitochondria, overload everything, and you will age quickly. Ito siguro sa notes lang, pag-aralan ng minuto, I'll give you a test. There are three pathways that the astragaloside 4 passes through to attenuate oxidative stress and reactive oxygen species. These have all been studied. Okay? How depressing is it if you studied this by yourself and you cannot find the product in the market? Di ba depressing yun? Nandiyan ang Equicel. We have all, you go to the books, you go to Google, you go to PubMed, etc. Nandiyan lahat yan. The problem is, nobody is investing at kahit walang kita, walang kita ang Equicel, binibigay niya sa inyo to. Binibigay sa atin lahat. In a silver platter, ready. All you have to do is take it. If money is a problem, I don't know. Gumawa kayo ng paraan because these are so important which cannot be anymore taken from food. No. People have come to me many years ago, I don't need spirulina, I don't need that, I don't need that. They're all dead now. Spirulina pa lang yun, ha? Do you understand? Because all of this I got from the internet. I got from the site. These are all available. But where is the product? Messenger. Okay? Clear? Do I get across this important message to all of you distributors? You have a very, very big responsibility. That now you have this gold, this precious treasure in your hand, which is called STEMULATOR Messenger, and it's your duty to share it. It now becomes a responsibility for you to share it kasi alam mo na. Pag hindi mo i-share to, ay, takot ako sa doktor, ayaw ganyan. Hindi, kailangan magsalita ka. Okay? Healthier aging with astragalus. Ficitin supplementation improves the ionic homeostasis. Ions. We are made of protons, electrons, ions. Lahat yan constantly moving. Ang job ng ficitin is yung ions behave themselves. Yun na lang. Okay? Kung wala kang ficitin sa katawan, naku, rambulan yan. Riot. What happens in a riot? Death and chaos. Ini-organize niya yung ions. Okay, mag-behave kayo. Huwag kayo masyadong maarte. Huwag kayo masyadong tahimik. Huwag kayong tamad. Magtrabaho kayo. Yun ang ginagawa niya. Regulate niya. Okay? Ficitin. That's the way to describe it. Although this has been enriched, this is very important. Vitamin D promotes protein homeostasis and longevity via the stress response pathway genes SKN1, IRE1, and XBP1. All it means is totoo ang vitamin D3. Okay? Sa kanila natin, kilatisi ko yung mga SKN1. These are all transcription factors and pathways. Okay? Number 5. Marapit na tayo. 7 lang, 9 lang to. Number 5 is regulated nutrient sensing or impaired nutrient sensing. If you are with me in number 5, can you say yes? Okay. What is the meaning of nutrient sensing? Sensing nutrients. Nutrient sensing is the cell's ability to recognize, thanks Henry, ability to recognize and respond to fuel substrates such as glucose. Eto na. Bakit minention itong glucose, which is so important to the human body? Wow. Every cell, every gene, every chromosome may glucose. RNA has glucose. What? Ribonucleic acid. Ano yung sabihin ng ribo? Sugar. DNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid. Ribo na naman. Glucose, sugar. Eh, bakit masama ang sugar? Hindi masama ang sugar. Masama ang sa ating nutrient sensing, kaya nagkaka-diabetes tayo. Kailangan po natin ang asukal. You know, I was waiting for this time that I will explain this because everybody is just afraid of sugar. My God, it's all wrong. Sugar is in everything that you eat. It turns into sugar, even meat. Even meat will turn into sugar. But everybody doesn't have the solution. They all have these theories that too much sugar. Of course, too much of anything is bad. Diba? Pero what is happening is because of wrong nutrient sensing, because of wrong DNA, they are not able to, everything becomes antagonistic. Sugar becomes your enemy instead of your friend. Sinabi once ni Doc Sheila na napaka-importante ng sugar sa lahat ng process na to. Okay? DNA, tandaan nyo, RNA, sulat mo yan. RNA, ribo, lagay mo. Ribonucleic acid. DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. Ribo means sugar. Okay, we will go into that more deeply, but the nutrient sensing is so important. Pag deregulated ang nutrient sensing, ibig sabihin, hindi niya masense kung saan yung mga nutrients. Tatanda ka agad kasi hindi niya makita kung kailangan mo ng Vitamin C, kung kailangan mo ng superoxide dismutase, hindi niya pasok ng pasok lang yung mga nutrients. Hindi siya na-regulate. Naging antagonistic hallmark of cellular aging yan. It has to be regulated. Parang pulis sa intersection yan. Daan ka dito, ilang truck lang ang pwede dumaan dito, ganun po yan. If you don't have to write this down. At the number one sign na mas mali ang nutrient sensing ng katawan mo is visceral, tatayo ko pa data, is visceral adipose tissue. Lahat kayo, hawakan nyo yung tiyan nyo. Meron ba kayo napipinch na more than 1 inch? Say yes or no, wag mag-lie. If you can pinch more than 1 inch of your stomach, can you pinch? Can you? Do it now, please. Can you pinch? Yes. Tawa si Adin naman. O bakit dalawa lang? Ano, fit na fit ba? Ang alam ko si Jonathan, walang kaya health yun. Okay. Ang ibig ko sabihin nito, lahat ng mga wrong sensing of nutrients, kasama na dyan yung overeating, hindi lang overeating, dyan po nadideposit yan. Yan ang sign that you have a very bad or a bad nutrient sensing. Bakit yung iba, katakot-takot ang kinakain, hindi naman tumataba? Yan ang sagot. Maganda ang nutrient sensing nila. Ibig sabihin, imbis na brown fat tissue na kailangan ng katawan, sa white, doon nila nalagay yung brown fat. Okay? So how does deregulated sensing? Are you following me and trying to make it simple? Okay? Following, yes. Write F if you're following. Bakit? Ayan, F. Very good. Very good. Okay? Importante to understand what these products will do to us. So, sa metabolic activities, too much activity changes in nutrient availability, nagkakagulo-gulo po. Composition us to age faster. Hindi kaya ng katawan. Kung ano-ano ang kinakain natin or what. We're eating the wrong things. But we should not nakakagulo yan via damaging to the cells, oxidative stress, endoplastic reticulum stress. Natandaan nyo, pag nai-stress yung endoplastic reticulum, what will happen when the endoplastic reticulum is stressed? Can you tell me the specific thing that happens which I explained kanina? What happens when the endoplastic reticulum is stressed? It has to do with proteins. The folding of the proteins, correct? Yan. Coding, pati yung folding nagkakamali na. Calcium signaling, mitochondrial dysfunction. Lahat po yan nakakagulo pag hindi na sense yung Yan naman, pasok na ang astragaloside 4, inhibiting autophagy and regulating the expression of mitochondrial energy metabolism proteins. Yan indirectly how it regulates the proteins. So this is one of the nutrients that can actually enter the mitochondria to fix both protein metabolism. O ibig sabihin, it senses the protein properly and fixes the mitochondria. Naku, ear bleed na kayo, no? So astragaloside 4, this was done on worms, improved age-related functional decline, triggered anticorn. Okay. Ano ang ginagawa ng astragaloside 4? It regulates superoxide dismutase, I explained this the other day, and catalase genes, and increase the activities of SOD and CAT actually it was tested in worms, no? It also modulates the insulin growth factor 1 signaling pathway activity. I explained insulin growth factor 1, and one of the traits of this is if this does not stop replicating wrongly in your body, you're going to get absolutely cancer. Yung IGF-1 na yan is more prominent in taller and larger people, in larger animals, in larger dogs. That's why they have shorter lifespans. Generally, tall people have shorter lifespans. I know a lot of people have gone ahead. Huwag kayong malungkot na panda kayo. Mas mahabang buhay ninyo po. Kasi hindi siya masyado nag-duplicate. Ang pinakamaraming insulin growth factor, yung ilong natin. Yung ilong natin never stops growing. Did you know that? May IGF-1 yan, yung insulin growth factor. That's a pathway. We will discuss it some other way. So, ang ginagawa ng AS4, the astragaloside, is it regulates superoxide dismutase, a very important enzyme, which is as important as what is a... Brett, ano oras ka pumasok? Ang dami ko na minensyo astragaloside ah. Okay. Ito na yon. Doon sa yung sa nutrient sensing, it regulates superoxide dismutase yan, and catalyst for. Do you know how important superoxide dismutase is? It's actually more important than glutathione, GSH. Why? Saan nakukuha yan? Sa spirulina, by the way. But, even if you have spirulina and you don't have AS4, what will regulate the superoxide? Mas mahirapan yung regulation at saka ng catalase. Three most important enzymes in the human body: superoxide dismutase, catalase, and glutathione, GSH. Okay? See what will regulate the expression sa RNA? AS4, Brett. Importante bang AS4? Yes or no? So, very, very important. So, a few more minutes. Has been reported increasing levels of nitric oxide, malondialdehyde, MDA, promoting the expression of superoxide dismutase. That is already confirmed. More recently, astragaloside 4 has been reported to inhibit apoptosis and alleviate reactive oxygen species. Confirmed na po yan. Fisetin, eto na. Ano pang ginagawa? Di ba sinabi ko sa'yo that each product regulates even sa nutrient absorption specific enzymes? AS4, superoxide dismutase, and catalase. Fisetin, glutathione. Yan na tayo. Do you understand? Fisetin promotes maintenance of glutathione levels, vascular antioxidant related to delayed effects of aging and which declines as we age. Again, as we explained, each one has fixed cells and DNA in specific areas of the human body. Brent, kunin mo yung notes ha. Ikaw, Brent ha. Brent, smiley naman dyan. Oh. So, kung ang AS4 is for superoxide dismutase and catalase, fisetin is for glutathione. Wow. So, do you need all these items at this point in mesencell together? Yes or no? Yes. Hindi pa tayo tapos. Yes na yes, Arlene. Yan. Okay, yung mga old mice, lagay mo to, extended the lifespan by 10% or 75 human life years. Mayo Clinic study. Mice live 2.5 months longer with fisetin. Yan, proven yan. Ibig sabihin, guaranteed tayo to reach at least 75. Pwede na, di ba? Hindi, bata pa rin yun. Ako 64. I have 11 years to go. Oh my gosh. Okay. Out of the 10 flavonoids, fisetin was the most potent senolytic. Okay, when you go into senescent cells. And one, in terms of nutrient regulation, again, eto na. And this is very important. I mentioned this the other day. Fisetin mimics caloric restriction. Can you please write down caloric restriction in capital letters? Ibig sabihin, even if you overeat, fisetin will ensure that you don't absorb everything that you ate. Uy, maganda to ah. Di ba? Yan ang nutrient sensing capacity ng mga products na yan. Kanya-kanyang trabaho. AS4, superoxide dismutase catalase. Fisetin, glutathione. And now, with all the nutrients that you are eating, very nice, Anna, with all the nutrients that you are eating, fisetin will regulate the calories that will enter your body. Can you put clap if that's good news or bad news for those who like to eat? Fantastic. So ang daming ano niya. Pero still din, ito na. Decreased metabolism as well as metabolic markers. Decreased, ito may trabaho din siya. Metabolic markers such as blood sugar. Wow. So we need sugar, but we don't need it in our blood. We need it inside our cells. That's how you become diabetic because hindi siya makapasok sa cells. Hindi. Nandyan na yung pterostilbene. Okay? So hindi kalaban ng sugar, kalaban natin yung mga, ang problema natin, yung absent na mga sundalo sa katawan natin. Do you understand? When I tell people, can I eat this? Anong diet? Sabi ko, you eat whatever diet you want. So long as you take the products. Bakit? Because the soldiers will be there to protect you. You're not here to die forever. Ito, hindi ko pwedeng kainin to, hindi ko pwedeng uminom, hindi ko pwedeng magsigarilyo, hindi ko pwedeng... Hindi! Gawin mo lahat yan. Enjoy your life. You only live once. But make sure that these products are inside your body. Because pterostilbene is called the anti-obesity molecule. Palakpak tayo. I'm taking over this part because we are in nutrient sensing. Okay, do you understand? Pterostilbene is the anti-obesity molecule due to its ability to regulate adipocytes, fat cells, life cycle, and promote brown fat over white fat. Yung kanina, di ba, sabi ko, pawawakan niyo, pag malaki to, ibig sabihin, napunta sa white fat. So, ang gagawin niya, if I take pterostilbene in messenger cell, ita-transfer niya yung fat cells ngayon sa brown fat, which is invisible, hindi na sila lalabas sa bilbil. Okay ba yan o hindi? Thumbs up nga o hindi? Okay, this all part of aging, ha? Hindi tayo lumalayo. This is nutrient sensing. Diabetic rats who were supplemented with pterostilbene had significantly improved blood glucose and MDA levels. MDA is an oxidative stress marker. Pterostilbene also reduces protein accumulation. Di ba nasa proteostasis tayo kanina? I should have put it there. But I put it here in ano kasi it's protein, it's a nutrient. Quercetin naman, anong ginagawa niya? Involved in the inhibition of intestinal glucose absorption. I'm still trying to find out the mechanism, the difference between quercetin and pterostilbene when it comes to regulation of sugar. Pareho sila nag-regulate ng sugar sa nutrient, since we are in nutrient absorption, nutrient sensing, pero in different mechanisms. Ito sa intestines, insulin secretion, insulin sensitization activities, and improvement of glucose utilization in peripheral tissues. Yes or no? Do diabetics need stimulator? Yes or no? If you don't want to become a diabetic, should you take stem cell, messenger? Yes or no? Simple. Andiyan na lahat yung science, di ba? Bakit pa tayo? Okay, vitamin D3 can cause increased levels of calcium in the blood, which is important for our bones. So kailangan yung vitamin D3. Number 6. Can you put number 6 if you're following me? Number 6, mitochondrial dysfunction. Mitochondrial dysfunction occurs when the mitochondria don't work as well as they should. When they're malfunctioning due to another disease or condition. Many conditions can lead to secondary mitochondrial dysfunction, including Alzheimer's disease again, muscular dystrophy, and type 1 diabetes. So anong role ng pterostilbene sa mitochondria? It gives energy to the mitochondria. Increasing these in 2 pathways favors health. Dalawang ways niya ginagawa yun. The IIS pathway and the reducing of the mTOR. Small m, capital TOR pathways. Kasi pag masyadong active yung pathway niyan, iiksi ang lifespan ninyo. In combination, AMPK, vascular regulator of cellular homeostasis, and sirtuins again, proteins that enhance functions of cells. These are the sirtuins. These are actually, sometimes they're called enzymes. Pito sila. Kung nagmama-function yung AMPK, sorry, technical at saka yung sirtuin, hindi nila madidetect na may mga low energy states. Ang NAD, yung levels mo, yung mga nag-feed sa mga cells. So these two have to be taken care of, the AMP vascular regulator and sirtuins, with pterostilbene so that they do their job. Ang ibig sabihin ganito, yung dalawang security guard nyo na magsasabi na humihina na yung daloy ng tubig sa gripo, okay? Hindi ginagawa yung trabaho nila. So anong nangyayari? Kailangan nila yung kanilang supervisor, si pterostilbene, na sabi sa AMPK, kailangan gumising ka, kailangan ayusin to, sirtuin, ayusin mo to. Hindi sila makakasense na humihina ang mga cells pagka walang pterostilbene. In other words, this product, this compound is so important for the human body, and this was widely available for thousands of years in nature. But we cannot get it anymore. Kaya ang dami-dami pong may sakit. Okay? Helpful in mitochondrial diseases. Berberin, anong ginagawa? Mitochondrial function na naman. Stimulation of glycolysis na naman. The proper metabolism of sugar, AMPK pathway. It is also an A-glucosidase inhibitor. You know, that A-glucosidase, and we will have a session with it some other time, is part of the cancer cell and the vitamin B17 theory. Okay? Yung glucosidase na yan, nasa loob ng cancer cells yan. Kailangan ma-inhibit mo yan with vitamin B17. Nandun sa isang product natin. Nasa ultima yan. Saka na natin pag-usapan yun. But berberin, since it's a berry, it has seeds, it also has that effect. So kung may vitamin B17 ang stimulator, meron po, nandiyan ang berberin. Ayos ba yun? Daming ginagawa, ano? Quercetin increases glutathione, GSH, maintains mitochondrial function in the presence of oxidative stress, has anti-inflammatory activity against microbial cells. Ibig sabihin, brain na naman ang inaalagaan ng quercetin, and inhibits the activity of 5-lipoxygenase, signifying reduction in age-related decline in brain function. If you want to have a good brain until the day you die at probably 102 because of our products, or even 120, quercetin will take care of you. Number 7, ito medyo understand na ninyo, cellular senescence. Are you in number 7? Can you write number 7, please? Cellular cells, large, fantastic. Ito yung, we already said, the cellular cells are not dead cells. These are cells that have finished their replication period. They are already tired. Gusto nilang umalis sa katawan pero hindi sila makaalis. Okay. So they don't die off when they should. They instead remain and continue to release chemicals that can trigger inflammation and disturb normal cells. Para sila, I told you the other day, para silang bisita who have overstayed their stay. Masyado na sila matagal sa loob ng katawan. Kasi may duplication, 50 million times yata ang duplication ng cells, but they still okay. So astragaloside 4 again alleviates senescence in vascular smooth muscle cells. Wow. You have to understand this. Ang particular job niya, yung muscle cells natin, nagkakaroon ng mga old cells. But ang particular job ng astragaloside 4 is in the vascular smooth cells. What are the smooth cells? These are the cells these are the muscle cells which you cannot control. Yung legs, nakokontrol mo, di ba? Yung arms, nakokontrol mo. Yung muscle cells sa stomach, yung muscle cells sa puso, hindi nyo po nakokontrol yan. Yan ang trabaho ng astragaloside 4. Doon siya. Kasi dito sa muscle, cells dito sa ano, pwede mo i-exercise yan, di ba? So you will remove it with exercise or with fasting or with whatever. But only astragaloside 4 can remove the senescent cells of the vascular smooth muscle, which are the heart. Okay? Implications again in the central nervous system, implications in Parkinson's disease, etc., etc. Mitochondria, etc. Fisetin, ito naman, function as senolytic. Senolytic, it removes senescent cells, improve cleaning away dysfunctional senescent cells and allowing healthy cells to thrive. Ang maganda sa fisetin, selective po yung kanyang pagtanggal ng senescent cells. Ganito yan, okay? And you have to understand this. Not all senescent cells are dead. And you cannot identify that they are already past their prime. Ibig sabihin that they have to be removed from the body. Okay? Hindi mo alam. Yung cells ng heart mo, nag-replenish yan. Di ba yung mga cells na namamatay? Paano mo malalaman na kailangan tanggalin yun? Hindi na. Huwag ka na mag-alala. Nandiyan na ang fisetin. Ang trabaho ng fisetin is to select the senescent cells which really have to be removed by the body. Because the other cells, the other senescent cells, are still contributing. Hindi pa naman sila talaga patay na doble-doble yung lahat eh. Right? Fantastic. If you say fantastic ang fisetin. Selective po ang pagtanggal niya ng mga old and degenerated cells. It does not take out everything. Yung blanket. Piliin niya. These are all studies. Kaya most potent and smart senolytic ang fisetin. Quercetin naman, anong ginagawa nito for our senescent cells? So it modulates survival signaling pathways, regulatory molecules associated with cell apoptosis. Ito na. Ano, di ba? We are very particular. May mga trabaho sila for each and every organ. Ang quercetin po in charge sa mga cells at DNA located sa ovaries. You know, if you look at it, nature takes care so that the species will propagate. Kaya nilagay niyang quercetin sa nature para protektahan ang OV2008 cells, which are hindi patayin pala. The OV2008 cells are ovarian cancer cells. Does anyone here know anybody who has ovarian cancer? One of the worst cancers you can have. Cervical, connected na yan. Meron kaming inaayos ngayon. She's doing very well. Cervical, for many years. But still, we cannot say. But so, you know, different cells, in a way, related po yan dun sa theory that stem cells for the heart, the cells of the liver, the cells of the kidneys, the cells of the legs, the eyes, are different from each other. This is proof na iba ang ginagawa nito, ibang pathways ang ginagawa niya for particular parts, for particular organs. Tinatanggal niya yung for particular pathways for each because iba-iba yung mga organs. Hindi pare-pareho ang gagawin. Tama na sa akin ang araw niya. Okay, magaling ang araw niya. Pero, sa tingin nyo ba, kailangan nyo ang mesencel? Yes or no? This is beyond. This is another level of health that we are going to provide people. Ang maganda sa quercetin, integrity of the joint cartilage. Ayan na. Hindi lang siya magaling sa ovarian cancer. Yung mga cells, yung mga genes or whatever, yung mga cells natin sa joints natin, wala na, hindi mo na ma-replace yan eh. It maintains the integrity and probably it will help. Kahit anong exercise mo, hindi, yung joints mo pareho yan kay Michael Jordan. Kahit na gano'ng kagaling pa si Michael, pareho lahat ang ating joints. Hindi mo pwedeng i-exercise ang joints. Hindi. Yung siko mo, hindi mo pwede exercise. So that will naturally degrade. Ang trabaho niya, yung mga cells dyan, aayusin ng quercetin. Palakpak. What else does quercetin do? It triggers, please write it down, cellular senescence by inducing cell cycle to stop at G1, G2M phases. May mga phase ang which we will have to spend a whole afternoon talking, and we used to do this when we were oncologic organics, no? Zero phase, wala pa yung cancer dyan. S1 phase, G1 phase, G2 phase, death phase. Tinitigil po niya ang cell cycle to stop replicating at G1, G2 phase. Kaya when I talk to cancer people and they ask me, sir, pwede pa ba to? We don't know at what extent. Yung stage 3, stage 4, that's basically a guess. Okay? Pero pag nandito pa sa G2 phase, kayang-kaya. Kayang-kaya, ibalik. Do you understand how important it is that you attended this lecture tonight? Okay? Kasi when you tell cancer patient, pwede po ba to? Baka pwede po, sabi mo sa kanila, pag nandun pa kayo sa G2M phase, nandiyan po ang quercetin. Okay? Too much information, okay? Ang ginagawa din ng quercetin, yung mga senescent cells, yung mga pagod na cells sa loob ng mga ugat natin, endothelial cells po ang tawag dyan, yung sa mga pader. Hindi yung sa labas, sa loob. Inaayos po niya yan. Tinatanggal po niya yung mga senescent cells. At pag tinanggal niya yan, ano mangyayari sa'yo? Wala ka ng high blood. Di ba? High blood is also a hallmark of aging. You see, the mechanisms here, like Doc Sheila was telling me, Gigo, hanapin mo yung mga mechanism niya kasi alam ko hindi ito bibigay lahat sa'yo. Nalalaman ko, magkukumpara tayo. Ganon kami ni Doc Sheila tsaka ni Doc Lalaine. Because that's very important eh. Kung i-feed niya sa akin, hindi ko makikita lahat ito. At hindi kayo makikinabang. Di ba? So, ang daming ginagawa ng quercetin. Ovarian cancer, yung sa G2 phase ng cancer progression, tapos sa loob ng mga blood vessels, nilinis niya yung mga senescent cells. Pag marami na yung senescent cells, magbabara yan sa blood vessels, high blood, okay, makaka-stroke ka. Yan na, hindi sasabihin sa'yo ng doktor yung mga pinag-aralan namin ito. Sasabihin nila, sira ulo namin. Kirkland and Chalk niya ang nag-aaral nito. Wieser, Gerdes et al. 2020. O 2023 na, ba't di natin alam? Quercetin prevents intestinal cell aging. Intestines naman. Yung mga stem cells sa intestines, inaayos niya. Piniprevent niya from our reactive oxygen species and inhibiting insulin signaling. Pati sa diabetes. Inaayos niya yan ang quercetin. You see now the importance of this product sa stem cells, yung pag-aging ng stem cells, vitamin D3. Ang ginagawa nito, improves mitochondrial density and function. I have to go fast kasi it's already late. Stem cell exhaustion. Haba po. So, sorry Okay lang ba? Medyo, kasi hindi ko ma-explain to. Kasi if I take a short time, you will not understand it. I know what it is. I know I'm a teacher. I know if people would understand what I'm saying. Okay? Stem cell exhaustion is, as explained, the hallmarks of aging is the age-related deficiency of stem cells. Pag matagda na yung stem cell, wala na, magde-decline yan. Ang ginagawa ng astragaloside 4, it forms angiogenesis. Ibig sabihin, gumagawa siya ng blood vessels para i-feed yung mga stem cells at dalhan sila ng nutrisyon. Ganyan ang importance ng astragaloside 4 in mesenchymal cells, which are the embryonic tissue, which develop into connective tissue and skeletal tissues. Ibig sabihin, gumagawa siya na parang release ng trend para umabot yung mga nutrients sa lahat ng mga bones mo at connective tissues mo. Yan ang astragaloside 4. Kaya yung stem cells doon mabubuhay if you take astragaloside for upregulation of CX3-4. Firostrebin stops inflammaging. Yung tumatanda ka, nag-age ka. Okay? So, many compounds promote inflammation. Yan. Ni-reduce po to ng fisetin. Ano pang fisetin? Reduce senescence of subset of cells in neural. Hindi sa ganung sa in specific cell type. Okay? Ang maganda sa fisetin, even if it is introduced late in life, introduced late in life, it is still effective in tissue homeostasis, reduced age-related pathology, and extended median and maximum lifespan. Ibig sabihin, if you take fisetin at the age of 30, it's going to be effective. If you take it at age 75, it will still be effective. Okay? So, will it help regulate your Alzheimer? It will. Ayun ang study. It inhibits the mTOR pathway, which is the pathway that causes you to age very quickly. The mTOR regulates cell proliferation, autophagy, apoptosis by participating in multiple signaling pathways. Lahat yan. Quercetin, regulating GSH, that's very important, SOD. Vitamin D3, yung kloto, sinabi ko kanina yan. Number 9 and last, because we regulate altered intercellular communication. Altered intercellular communication is described in the hallmarks of aging is the change in signals. May mga signals among cells, among the environment. Maganda pa yung signal habang bata. Oy, mali na pa. Kamusta yung tawag ko sa'yo? Linaw, padre. Bigyan ko ng 5-star to. After a while, pag luma ng telepono or something, signal ko. May coming in. Yun ang signal. Eh, ang information matatransfer mo pag ganun ang signal mo? Wala na. Alright? Tumatawag ba kayo o hindi? O natutulog na kayo? Yes or no? If you're laughing or what? Maganda yung tumawa. Biging makakabata yun. So, the cells used to communicate with each other. Pag hindi na nagko-communicate, yun, si Arlene na naman. Si Arlene na lang yata na iwan dito eh. Okay, ilan pa ba tayo na iwan dito? Large, you're always there. Love you, Large. Okay. Examples of intercellular communication. One method of intercellular communication is direct cell-to-cell contact. Okay? Sexy driver to meeting group chat. Okay, cell to cell. This can involve physical contact between cells, or cells may communicate through molecules that bridge the gap between them. Yan na mahirap. Pag direkta ang communication, walang problema. Di ba? Pag nakipag-usap tayo sa isang tao, bakit ang daming problema sa Pilipinas? Kasi, imbis na kausapin natin yung tao na may problema tayo with, lahat ng tao kinakausap natin muna bago sa kausapin natin, may mga intermediary. Do you understand? So there are two ways. Yung intermediaries din yung kakaproblema. So, anong ginagawa ng astragoloside 4? Inhibits RF by blocking GGFS pathways, downregulated Wnt with beta-catenin signaling. Decreased expression of oncogene, VA3, implicating the protein in astragoloside mechanism. Pagka sinabing oncogene, yan yung mga genes na eventually will become cancer cells. So bago pa lang sila maging cancer, dire-regulate na sila ng astragoloside. Oy, hindi tayo kung iinom ng astragoloside 4 para pag may cancer na tayo, kailangan inumin niya bago tayo magka-cancer. Understood? Yes or no? Hintay ba natin panahon na kailangan mo ng protocol from me? Or from Ma'am Sheila? Kung kayo humingi ng protocol sa akin, something's wrong. Okay? Pterostilbene activates sirtuins, especially SIRT1, and works with NMN. This will be another whole chapter. Well, it's very important yung NMN. Nandito sa ating products yan. Yung NMN yan, yung DNA repair, telomere activities, sirtuin enhancer, mitochondrial signal, enrich NMR. Okay. Yung NAD, yung nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide boosters work, they work together. Ang ginagawa niyan, these are parang Yung NAD plus na to, kailangan mo tandaan to. Ito yung bus na sinasakyan ng mga electrons. Sila yung nagtatransport ng electrons dito, ng electrons. Para kami, merong organization, merong city sa loob ng cell. Okay? So, terostilbene increases sirtuin activity, allowing NMN for precursor molecule to do its primary job of boosting NAD levels. Pag naubos yung NAD levels mo, which is the at kulang ka na sa nicotinamide, micronutrient, that means you're dead. That's how important it is. They work together with terostilbene to improve mitochondrial health and slow down the aging process. As NMN, pag kinumbine po yung terostilbene at NMN, it boosts the NAD levels and compounds into sirtuins and activates the sirtuins. Both of them are in messenger cell. Yun na lang. NMN and terostilbene. Start naman tayo dyan. Ito pa, ang ginagawa ng quercetin, prevents hydrogen peroxide-induced inhibition of gap junction kasi may mga bridge between cell membrane. Ito yung, if you look at the cell membrane, ganyan yan. May bridge yan in between. Pag napigtas yan, tapos ka na. Ang ginagawa ng quercetin, kinoconnect niya yung communication between membranes para maganda yung information. This is so deep and so fantastic. You know, it will take, just on one aspect, it will take you the whole day to explain. But just take my word for it. It bridges cell membranes. May mga cells, group of cells, cell membrane. Okay? A group of cell membranes, tissue. Ganun yan eh. May mga tissues, organs. Pinag-alam nyo lahat to. So may mga bridge yan. May mga gaps yan. May yung inaayos ng quercetin yan. Vitamin D modulating different processes, apoptosis. Okay. Well, that's it. That's a lot for you to absorb tonight. I hope if you get a little percentage of it, if you wrote it down, say yes nga if you had any benefit from our lecture tonight. Of course, you have to review it kasi hindi siya kung sinunod mo maganda. But now you have the ammunition to explain why it's very important, not only for the sick, but also for the healthy to consume even just one capsule of mesenchyl every single day. Or else we are all headed to that. Okay, Dr. Jane, thank you very much. And I now pass you to our doctora. And I hope we will see you again next Monday. All right.
Yeah. Paano ba kita susundan, Sir Gigo?
Well, hindi. Kailangan ko yung sa...
Such a fantastic speaker and...
sorry, I get carried away na...
Yeah, it's okay. The energy is on.
Thank you. I have the energy because I take our products and have the passion. I hope to transfer to everybody this passion for 15 years. 20 years.
Right. And thank you for sharing your passion with us.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, okay. We sent out a survey on our second session, and we're still collecting your responses because we are doing series of this presentation on our new product. So your feedback is very important. And also, if you are an attendee to this, hello? Narinig niyo po ba? Parang nawala ako.
Doctor, I used to be a teacher. I notice my students, if I have PowerPoint, it's different. Kaibang style ni Doktora. Ako, hindi ako masyado mag-PowerPoint. But I can use that. If you want, we can improve. If you want that para mas malinaw. But this will be available to them, my document, which I read from. Who wants the document, by the way? Who wants the document? So, nandiyan na pala si Ma'am Sheila, si Doc.
Oh, yeah. Good evening to our CEO, Doc Sheila, is in the house already. For the attendees for tonight, Yes. For the attendees tonight, we will be sending out also survey. And your feedback again is very important, so that on our end as speakers for Equicel, we would like to improve on what we are doing. So because we would like to do the best that we could to share whatever knowledge that we have to educate or to provide you information in your presentation to your prospects and for the business as well. So, paano ko ba sundan si Sir Gigo? Okay, so my what do you call this one? My task for tonight is to discuss with you this one. Okay, for me personally, I believe that we have an intrinsic factor, we have an intrinsic power within us that was given to us by our creator. And in order for us um to do our purpose, to make sure that we live up to the last second of the purpose that was gifted to us, we need to upregulate that intrinsic power at the cellular level, so that we can we can provide a good impact to those who are after us. So, stimulator, to me, it means upregulating your cellular youth potential. So, Doc Gigo has defined or described the different um, ingredients of the product, particularly mesencel. So now let's have a little preview on what's going on. Like what Sir Gigo has said, there is a whole universe inside of us, and that universe is designed by the one and only creator. We cannot change it. We cannot do anything that could what do you call this one? Um, destroy that. Only he and he alone can do that. What we need to do is to maintain, support whatever those structures that we have para ano natin yung ating purpose. So in terms of understanding how do these ingredients, these nutrients from our products, particularly stimulator, impacts our cellular health, let's take a moment in looking at the basic unit of life, which is basic functional unit of life, which is the cell. The cell has structures and components that are important to be balanced, to maintain what you call tissue balance, homeostasis. Okay. And these structures and its components are all right. Okay. These structures are have intricate designs, from the gate, the cell membrane, to the internal components, the cytoplasm, where it contains the little organs or the little structures that coordinate with one another. We call them the organelles, and those organelles keep with them the different components or different molecules, what we call biomolecules, that are important in doing their job to make us function as a whole. So, for example, those important organelles are the nucleus, which houses the DNA, the nucleic acid, the mitochondria, which also houses DNA, the ribosomes, which are little structures that are important in protein synthesis. It houses a nucleic acid, RNA. And then, as Sir Gigo mentioned, endoplasmic reticulum, we have ER, we call it ER, and these are also where the proteins that have been synthesized from the ribosomes, from the DNA to the ribosomes, are being packaged. And Sir Gigo has mentioned the folding of the proteins. The folding is actually done here in the endoplasmic reticulum, whereby proteins exhibit or ang tawag dito, created to or synthesized to produce primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure, up to quaternary structure, depending on what type of protein is needed by the cell. And then the Golgi complex, which is a continuation of the endoplasmic reticulum, as you can see here, no, these are networks of membranes that are folded together so that, it will occupy a good amount of space to do those folding of proteins. And for the Golgi apparatus, it is responsible for creating vacuoles in the form of these somal bodies like lysosomes, which houses a lot of enzymes, lytic enzymes, or enzymes that are responsible in degrading unwanted substances or unwanted proteins to help maintain the balance inside the cell. So that's what we need to understand on this very intricate, beautiful structure that we each have. We have 37, more than approximately 37 trillions of these structures that we maintain in our body. Now, the cell membrane, as you can see here in the model, is flooded with different structures and different biomolecules. You can see there carbohydrates, lipids, proteins. Okay. It is structured in that way to protect the internal components of the cell, and it is being flooded with the extracellular fluid, this one sa labas, and this is responsible for housing all the what Sir Gigo has mentioned, the different ions, anions and cations, the positive and the negative ions, and it is responsible for maintaining the gradient or the fluidity that is moving energy that is responsible for the exchange of nutrients and exchange of signals and communication. Whereby ito naman sa kabila, cytosol and the organelles, these are the internal components that work together synergistically to maintain the cellular balance. Biomolecules, we have the big four. We have the proteins, which are repeating units of smaller molecules called amino acids. They are the most abundant form of biomolecules in our body. Carbohydrates, these are repeating units of sugar molecules. We have different types of carbohydrates. We have carbohydrates that are composed of three carbons. We call them triose. Composed of four, we call them tetros. Composed of five, we call them pentose. Okay, composed of six, of which glucose is made of 6 carbon atoms. These are hexose, or glucose, and so on and so forth, no, carbohydrates. And then we have the lipids, composed of units of fatty acids and alcohol. These are important for cushioning very important structures in our body, such as our nerve cells. And then, of course, we have the information molecules. We have the nucleic acids, which are composed of the repeating units of nucleotides. These are the big four biomolecules that maintain metabolic, cellular, and molecular balance in our bodies. Now, we take the nucleic acid as a closer look at the nucleic acid, because this relates to the our product STEMULATOR. So from cell, we have the central organelle, the nucleus, and from the nucleus, you take a big structure, we call it chromosome, and you take a closer look of the chromosome, you get the information molecule called the DNA. The DNA is called the molecular life of the cell. It is an information molecule that stores instructions called genes. So a unit of the DNA is called genes, and this unit is holding messages or information that will code for proteins. As we mentioned a while ago, proteins are the most abundant biomolecules in the body. Now, the entire genetic material, or sometimes it is called chromosome, no, of an organism, is called the genome. So this is where all sets of genes and all the elements that control them, including the histones, the different factors that controls them to make them intact or to make it preserved. Okay, we call it the genome, and this is transgenerational, because we have been inheriting this from our ancestors. So the genome. So the genome for mammals are different from the genome of plants, and so on and so forth. Now, the DNA, or the nucleic acid, DNA, we have two types of nucleic acid, the DNA and the RNA. their difference lies in the sugar component. So like what Sir Gigo mentioned, DNA has the sugar deoxyribose, RNA has the sugar ribose. Okay, the DNA is found in two structures of the cell, the nucleus and the mitochondria. So that's why we have the nuclear DNA, and then we have the mitochondrial DNA. The nuclear DNA is what we inherited from all our ancestors. So we belong to the group of mammals. All our DNA have this mammalian information. Mitochondrial DNA, on the other hand, is what we inherit from the maternal lineage. So we each have the DNA in our mitochondria coming from our mothers. Okay. Now, the genetic material or the genome, for you to appreciate the importance of the DNA, kasi ang dami niyang information. If you stretch the DNA in one cell all the way out, it would be about 2 meters or over 6 feet long. So imagine nagkasya siya no sa isang napaka microscopic structure. Now if all of the DNA in all of your cells were stretched out and put together, it would be about twice the diameter of the solar system. So that is very fantastic. The word is fantastic because all the information there, all the genes are preserved, and all the codes that we need for us to be functional as a human being is well preserved in this structure. Okay. Like what I said, we have two types of nucleic acid, the DNA and the RNA. The difference is that the DNA is a double helix molecule. There are two helices. You have the right and left helices, while the RNA is a single-stranded molecule, single-stranded, one helix. And then they differ also in the information that they carry in terms of the nitrogenous base or nucleobases that they have. So a unit of this, to make a nucleic acid, we call it a nucleotide. The components of nucleotide are phosphate group, the sugar, and the base. The base will depend on what strand it belongs to. So for example, all of this two nucleic acid contains the bases cytosine, adenine, and guanine, but they differ in the fourth base, thymine, because thymine is uracil in RNA. So structural differences. So nucleotides. Now, the Human Genome Project, before kasi, when this was not yet put up, they thought that we have thousands or millions of genes because when you stretch out the DNA, sobrang haba. So they thought that we have all of those millions of genetic information combined. But when the Human Genome Project came about, they discovered that human beings have only about 20,000 genes in almost every cell in our body. So each cell is preserving 20,000 genes. Now, most genes are the same in all people, like the nuclear DNA, but a small number of genes, less than 1%, are slightly different between people. That's the one that we have in the mitochondrial DNA. So actually, according to the study, an earthworm has more genes than a human being because earthworm has 32,000 genes compared to a human being that has only 20,000 genes. And then this is what you need to understand in terms of how do we use or do we appreciate the nutrients or the ingredients of our product STEMULATOR. The central dogma of cellular and molecular biochemistry is concentrated in these three processes. Like what Sir Gigo has mentioned, these three processes should be perfect. This should not be disturbed because this is responsible for preserving the genome and for creating the different proteins that we need for our survival. So when the cell is there, when the sperm cell and when the sperm fertilizes the egg, immediately they form a structure called the zygote, and the zygote begins to divide, undergo a cellular division, cell cycle division, of which inside this division, it involves these three processes. The DNA or the genome na nakuha, na na-create, should be replicated. So one DNA should be replicated to another DNA, a daughter DNA, via the help of an enzyme called DNA polymerase. Polymerase meaning you have to combine the lengthening, no? You have to replicate the DNA, because that daughter DNA is now be incorporated in the daughter cell. Dahil magdi-divide yung cell. And then from replication, the code or the information from the DNA should be transcribed in an RNA molecule. So that's why you have here an RNA molecule. With the help of another enzyme, RNA polymerase, the information inside the DNA is now transcribed here in your RNA strand. And this happens in the in an organelle called ribosomes. Now, there are three types of RNA. You have the messenger RNA, which is the product of transcription. This one is the mRNA. You need the transfer RNA, and then you also need the ribosomal RNA. The transfer RNA are responsible for getting the amino acid that is needed to create or to translate the information to protein. And the ribosomal RNA is responsible for bonding the different amino acids. So what you're seeing here, yung mga bilog dyan, these are the amino acids that are coded. There is a code here in the DNA. It is transcribed to a messenger RNA. And this messenger RNA, each 3 nucleotide is equal to a codon. Remember what we have last time. And each codon reads a specific amino acid. So this is an amino acid, and then another amino acid. You put together the amino acids, you're going to create peptide, oligopeptide, and then that peptide or oligopeptide will fold to become a specific proteins. So this should happen perfectly inside the cell, and this should not be disturbed, so that it is going to help the organism grow and develop and create substances that it needs to support its growth and development. So that is the central dogma. So that should happen perfectly. And that is the design, or we cannot do anything about it, because this is the original, or this is the God's design. Okay. Now, every time a cell divides or undergoes the cell division cycle, the genome from the DNA is replicated to produce identical DNA strands via a process of replication. We have 20,000 genes. Those 20,000 genes should undergo replication. So the DNA is folded like this. So when the process of replication happens, it is coiled like that. It will uncoil so that this strand will be replicated. This strand will also be replicated with the help of the DNA polymerase. Hanggang sa dulo, hanggang sa umabot siya doon sa telomeres, kailangan lahat yon ma-replicate perfectly. Okay. And then the information is converted to a single-strand mRNA via a process of transcription, which is then decoded into amino acids via a process of translation, like what we have explained a while ago. Now, there are about so many nucleotides, no? Diba, 6 feet siya, so many nucleotides in a sequence. So they measure that strand in a fork speed, no? Because the replication runs, okay, 10,000 or more nucleotide pair per strand equals 1 fork speed. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Ito po yun. Kasi nag-unfold siya per 10,000 of per 10,000 nucleotides. Ayan. Ayan siya. So, ganyan po yung sequence up to hanggang sa umabot siya doon sa telomere. Okay. Our cells replenish by copying themselves. They replenish via a process of cell division. Now, this happens constantly throughout our lives. So, from our fertilization up to our last second of breath, kasi buhay pa tayo nun, nangyayari ang cell division. Telomeres, on the other hand, the end strands of the DNA, get shorter each time a cell copies itself, but the important DNA stays intact. Because what happens there is naga-unfold, naga-uncoil si DNA, no? So when it does that, no, pagka-replicate, magko-coil ulit, naaapektuhan yung structure structure ni telomeres, kaya it shortens as more replication happens or as we age. So eventually, telomeres get too short to do their job, causing our cells to age and stop functioning properly. So sometimes there occurs certain aberrations on replication, on transcription and translation because of this phenomena. No, it happens with age. Now, yan, cell division, okay? And during the cell division process, those three, replication, transcription, translation, um, happens perfectly. Now, researchers found that cells lose about 4% of their mass as they enter cell division. Because before they enter cell division, they have to make sure that all the trash, all the unnecessary substances that are accumulated because of a certain assault or a certain stress are degraded. So they're emptying trash inside themselves, the cells, because they want to give a clean slate, no? They want to give their offspring a clean slate free of the parent cell's accumulated junk. So that's how they maintain or they create a good functioning cell unit, no, a daughter cell once they divide. So imagine ganyan nila nire-regulate ang kanilang sarili, no, before they produce their own daughter cells. Okay, going back. Naghang ata ako. Wala yung aking... Okay. Now, there our internal environment should have a balance. So we call it a homeostasis. It is a property of human biological system because our body is a closed system, okay? And this is self-regulating process, and it is needed for our survival. Now, the regulation takes place because we have all of this communication happening inside each of the structures that we have in our cells. So there is a command component, the control. There is a receptor component, the one that is sensing the stimulus. And there is an effector component, or the one that is responding to the stimulus. So if we have all of this activated, this balance is achieved. So there are a lot of homeostatic balances that is happening, no, across our body, and this should happen at all at the same time or in different cycles to help us maintain good health. Now, para when the cell divides, no, it will create a functional unit. No, the functional unit or a daughter cell, depending on what its job will have this different kinds of expression or structure. Now, cells, when they become functional, they have different jobs. So, for example, the red blood cells are responsible for carrying oxygen and carrying nutrients. Pancreatic cells are responsible for producing insulin and glucagon, beta and alpha cells. The neurons are responsible for transmitting signals. The heart cells are responsible for contracting the muscle to pump blood, and the skin cells are responsible for protection. That is their job. Now, as they do their job, they also age accordingly because they each have shelf life, though we call it the cell turnover. It is actually a biological and physiological process that is supporting homeostasis because it balances cell formation versus cellular loss. So as you can see here, the little cells rule, the large cells tend to live long. So for example, the muscle cells and the nerve cells, because they are larger in terms of structures, they tend to live long as compared to the other more dominant small cells, which have very short lifespan. So for example, the blood elements like the red blood cells, the immune cells, they are very small, so they have a very little lifespan as compared to the large cells. Now, the cell turnover, or kung kailan ba sila nare-replenish or namamatay, okay, happens according to their lifespan. So there are roughly 30 billion cells that turn over every day, and 86% are all blood cells, and 12% are gut cells, and the remaining percentage are the other cell types. So imagine ang laging mabilis mag-turnover ay ang ating mga red ang ating mga blood elements. So here is a picture, or here is an information of the turnover time of the different cells in our body. So as you can see here, we have the epithelial cells of the small intestine. The turnover time is 2 to 4 days compared to, for example, the oocytes or the female gametes. They do not have a turnover time. They are there lifetime. So ang mga babae, kung ano yung edad ninyo, ganun din yung edad ng inyong mga egg cells. Tayo pala yon, kasama pala ako doon. We have also the hematopoietic stem cells. They live, according to this information, hematopoietic stem cells live about they have a turnover for 2 months. So these are the different cellular turnover of the different cells in the body. Now, the cells are able to undergo cellular adaptation. And these are what they do in response to the different stimulus or changes in their local environment. So what do? They change in the number of cells. Okay. For example, when they are given growth factors, they grow just like when a child is growing. They need those growth factors so that they would increase in number. There is also a change in their morphological appearance. So for example, pag na-dehydrate, nag-change yung ionic gradient, magkakaroon ng maiiba yung integrity ng loob ng cell. And it also happens, the adaptation also happens physiologically, meaning to say self-regulated, pathological, if they encounter certain factors that will cause them to manifest symptoms of diseases. Okay. And then we have the control of cell population. The size of cell populations depends on the rate of 3 factors. Cell proliferation, this is very important. It has positive and negative effects. Positive if the individual is growing. Negative if it is cancer. Cell differentiation, this refers to the stem cells. So when we are an embryo, as we develop to fetus to adult, the cells that we have from the embryonic state will now go to their different tasks. So some of our cells will be the heart cells, some of our cells will become the blood cells, some of them will become the nerve cells, and so on and so forth. And then we have cell death by apoptosis. So when the cell reach their turnover rate, they have to open up their gene called apoptotic gene for them to undergo apoptosis. Okay. And then we also have this one, and this is very important, just like what Sir Gigo has mentioned. There is what we call cell-to-cell interaction, and there is this force, the potential gradient, that is maintaining all of these signaling pathways that these cells are very sensitive, should be very sensitive of for them to perform their task. So cellular signaling pathways may either promote good condition or inhibit them from happening. So these are regulated by factors such as hormones, neurotransmitters, growth factors, or even cell-to-cell interaction. Now, what is the goal of the signaling? Cell survival. Okay, because there are certain cells that need not to undergo apoptosis because hindi pa sila magto-turn over or hindi pa kailangan or i-rescue. Cell division, cell differentiation, for example, when the stem cells need to produce this kind of cell kasi kailangan ng i-repair or i-regenerate, and cell death via apoptosis. Okay. And then when they reach those state, yun nga na-mention natin, the first regulated degradation is cellular apoptosis. This is program cell death. No? Yun nga, kapag nagta-turn over na yung cell, they have to activate the gene, apoptotic gene, and they have to have those enzymes, casases, in order for the degradation to occur. Okay, para mawala, mamatay na yung cell at mapalitan. That's also a signal that certain group of cells from that structure will replace those cells that are undergoing a turnover. And then we have this necrosis. This happens when cells encounter too much. This is a pathological response of the cell kasi nagkaroon ng maraming infection, nabugbog yung cell, nawalan ng supply, Okay? Na-change yung gradient niya sa loob, naging acidic, and nag-release ng mga enzymes na necrotic, resulting into the breakage of the cell membrane, kaya sumabog ang kanyang, namatay ang cell. Okay? This happens, no, as again, a survival mechanism of the cell para hindi what do you call this one, hindi mag-spread yung necrosis to other tissues. And then there's another state, no, like what Sir Gigo has mentioned, it has positive and negative impact on the body. We have the autophagy. Autophagy is actually a housekeeping response of the body, no, when there are immediate wear and tear doon sa tissue na nangyari. So the cell will need to turn on their self-eating genes and release certain enzymes that will help reuse the old and damaged cell parts. So this is also what's happening when you do fasting, intermittent fasting, or starvation. So they will try to recycle the components of certain cells by undergoing autophagy. Okay. Now, many diseases are caused by breakdowns in the cell, and many diseases are also associated with cell damage and cell loss. So, for example, when a signal doesn't match or doesn't reach its target, such as what happens in a multiple sclerosis condition, or when there's too much signaling following a surgery, which happens mostly in stroke, and like when the receptors are not working properly, just like what happens when a patient has type 1 or type 2 diabetes, or when the cells what do you call this one, face an energy crisis, like what happens in a mitochondrial damage, or when the cell divides uncontrollably and tumors form, okay, cancer occurs. So these are all the different pathological expressions because a certain incident is happening inside the cell. So this is expressed in all of these tissues. Now, Sir Gigo mentioned senescence. Senescence is a process in which cells reach permanent growth arrest without the death of cells as the whole division cell process comes to a halt. So hindi sila nag-undergo ng apoptosis, they just stay there and do not function. Now, this is characterized by gradual functional decline due to time-lapse events or aging. So as we age, we are actually having these types of cells, the senescent cells. Now, there are pathological reasons why cells become senescent. Okay, they enter into a state of senescence when we age, and they do not function, they do not support the tissue or divide. Instead, they generate chemicals. Now, this is the negative side. They generate chemicals which have the potential to encourage nearby cells to enter into senescence as well. So, nandadamay sila ng katabi nilang cells na mag-senescent na rin kayo. Now, senescent cells destroy themselves through a process called apoptosis. No, they can also undergo apoptosis, causing them to get eliminated by the immune system if this is properly regulated. But somehow, during aging, nakakaipon tayo ng maraming ganito. Okay, so when we have accumulated a lot of senescent cells, or they can be converted to what we call zombie cells, and it accelerates the aging process. Okay. Now, ayan. So over time, these cells, also known as the zombie cells, and they accumulate in the body, and we have this structure. Okay. Now let's go to our soldiers, our the most important regulators of our health, no? Stem cells. Stem cells are the body's raw materials, or the beginner cells. They are actually product. We have them. We get them from as we are developed in our mother's womb, from fertilization. Okay, from zygote. Okay, we get these cells that divide. We call them embryonic stem cells. And then as we develop to become fetus, we have the fetal stem cells. And as we grow, become adult, we also have the adult stem cells. And the connection between the mother and the fetus, the umbilical cord, also contains the umbilical cord stem cells. So that is based on the sources. Now, based on their differentiation potential, or how do they differentiate when they are needed, we have three types. We have the totipotent stem cell. Totipotent means total potential ability. They have the ability to give rise to all embryonic and adult lineage. So these totipotent stem cells are found in the embryonic stages. Whereas yung pluripotent stem cells naman, they have pluri, meaning plural. They have the ability to give rise to all cell types in an adult. So this stem cell can become any of the cells. It can become a blood cell, it can become a nerve cell, or it can become a gonad, an egg cell, or a sperm cell, depending on the signal or the factors na binigay sa kanya to become differentiated into how it is needed. Okay, and then we also have the multipotent stem cell. This is they have the ability to give rise to multiple cells within a lineage. So, for example, the hematopoietic stem cells. These are the blood-forming cells. So we have the different types of blood elements. We have the red blood cells, white blood cells. But they are the blood-forming cells. So they came from the hematopoietic lineage. And we have the mesenchymal cells. Those are the cells that can become the connective tissue cells, such as the bones, the cartilage, the skin, and so on and so forth. So, ayan po sila. Okay. So this is where our stem cell, this is where we have our stem cell pool, no? We have the pluripotent and the multipotent stem cells. The totipotent stem cells are the ones that we get when we are in the embryonic embryo stage. So between these two, the most abundant are the pluripotent stem cells. Uh, the least in number are the multipotent stem cells because they're found in specialized tissues such as the bone marrow. Okay. And from this multipotent, we get our neural or nerve stem cells. When they're given good signals, they're the ones that are replacing the elements or the structures that are damaged in our brain and spinal cords, such as the astrocytes and the oligodendrocytes. Okay. Now, like what Doc Sheila have mentioned, when stem cells divide, uh, they have this ability. They can continue to be the stem cell, meaning to say they have this self-replenishing ability, okay, because they can create more stem cells like themselves, and they can differentiate or they can adopt one of these special jobs, or meaning to say they do differentiation. So they may give rise to the specialized cells in the body. Now, this too happens under a strict biological control, okay, meaning to say they are given factors to self-replenish and to differentiate, and it has to be maintained in the body so that a balance is created. Okay. Now, yun nga, certain things happen whereby stem cells do not self-replenish anymore, or they become senescent because they lost that signal already because of certain assault has happened to the body. Now, the stem cells, they are the key to determining a tissue's ability to replenish lost cells as they're able to self-renew indefinitely. There are certain cells that, cannot proliferate effectively. For example, yung mga nerve cells, because yun nga, ang tawag ito, yung turnover nila is different from the rest of the cells. But there are also cells that should be that are replenished repeatedly. For example, yung skin cells, those that are classified as epithelium, kasi they're the covering of the different structures of the body, such as the skin, those that we have in our internal organs. They should be replenished repeatedly. Okay, and there are also stem cells that proliferate very slowly. Okay, but they can rapidly proliferate when required. So, for example, kung may na-damage sa liver, may na-damage sa bone, depending on the signal that they receive, they can proliferate slowly or rapidly depending on the need. So that's how they behave inside the body. Now, the thing that we would like to make mention here is that in our company, Equicell, we do not deal with synthetic, or we do not deal with any of this what do you call this one, with the the structure or the design that is inside our body. What we do or what we share is our nutrients that will support the internal balance of the body or to bring it back to balance. Now, in the world of medicine, there are two broad treatments of dimension. Broad, meaning to say, ang dami, no? We have the drug, pills, and injection, and we have the surgery. So, if you could recognize, alin kaya dyan yung mga iniinom ninyo sa inyo as your maintenance, no? And then there are many conditions where there are no drugs nor surgery can help. Mas marami po ito kaysa sa doon sa mga natitreat ng drugs at natitreat ng surgery. Mas marami na po ito ngayon. So look at all of these famous people. Okay, we have Pat Summit. He is an NCAA basketball coach. She has been afflicted with Alzheimer's disease. We have the Superman, the Man of Steel, Christopher Reeve, who has been affected by a motor neuron damage. And then we have a famous, what do you call this one? Physicist, no? Dr. Stephen Hawkins, a professor at the Cambridge University, has the same condition as Christopher Reeve has. We also have a football player, Steve Gleason, that is afflicted with ALS. These are most of them have been affected by a neuro condition. And then you have also other famous person that are afflicted with certain conditions, no? Like Chris Aquino, it's an autoimmune condition. Kuya Kim, Steve Jobs, he had pancreatic cancer. You have the singer from, what do you call this one? Ano bang, ano to, ano ba itong band niya? Imagine Dragons, Dan Reynolds. And then we have a model, Winnie Harlow. Then we have, of course, Michael J. Fox with Parkinson's disease. These are all people that have this condition na they lost signaling, no? Their body has lost certain signaling. That's why they're, and also certain pathological expressions, probably because of their diet, okay? Wherein they were able to experience these illnesses. And then we have this oldest verified human being, recorded human being, which gave her the Guinness, which was recorded in the Guinness Book of Records. Jean Louise Calment, the oldest verified person to have ever lived. She has reached 122 years and 164 days old. Ano kaya ang ginawa niya, no? Bakit siya umabot ng ganon? So, meaning to say, if this person has stretched its life or has took care of the telomere and all of these hallmarks of aging, kaya siya umabot sa ganito, then on our generation, we could probably reach this age as well if we took care of all of these aging hallmarks, like what Sir Gigo has mentioned a while ago. But then again, we are not exempted from, like what Doc Sheila has said, it is inevitable that aging occurs because of this physical law of thermodynamics, entropy. Entropy, there is order, just like what Sir Gigo has said, and then there is disorder. And disorder always wins because of aging. No? Entropy always wins. No matter how each multicellular organism who is using energy from the sun is able to develop and maintain its identity, it can only do so much because entropy happens. And aging is one factor. And like what Sir Gigo has mentioned, these are the different hallmarks of aging. Genome instability, this refers to what happens in the DNA. Telomere damage because of aging, the shortening of the telomere, the caps of the DNA, the protective caps that preserves the information inside the DNA. And then there is also epigenetic changes because when the DNA folds and unfolds, it can ang tawag dito, encounter methylation, just like what Sir Gigo has mentioned. Methylation is a process of tagging a certain part of the DNA with a methyl group, and that tagging can attract certain signals na may gagawin doon, may aberration dito, may changes dito. And then when this three happens, of course, remember the central dogma, replication, transcription, and translation. The information coming from the DNA will be disrupted. So the proteins or the peptides that are being produced inside the cell will not be the same as it should be because there is interruption from the genome because of there is an occurrence of instability to it. Therefore, nagkakaroon ng loss of protein balance or proteostasis. And then when this happens, no, a lot of these things altogether chain reaction, there will be a deregulation of nutrient sensing and other structures inside the cell is also damaged, like the mitochondria. When the mitochondria is damaged or is dysfunctionated, um, the energy balance is also disrupted. So there is disruption of the protein balance, disruption of the integrity of the information from our DNA, disruption of the energy balance. Then there will be an accumulation of a lot of senescent cells because of disrupted signals all over the structures. And of course, as we age, there are nagwe-wear and tear din si stem cells. So there will be stem cell exhaustion. And ultimately, yung cell-to-cell communication is altered because of the different, ito nga, hindi na maayos ang signal sa loob ng katawan. So what happens is as we get older, we have less cells because some of them become senescent, some of them gets damaged, and then the ability of the stem cells to differentiate is also lost because we lost those signals. Quality of the viability of the functional unit also is lost. So these are the things that we can encounter as we age. And this is going to be accelerated if we have, on top of aging, we are experiencing a chronic condition. So the reason why, yun nga, this is Doc Sheila's 3, no? When everything happens, all of these hallmarks of aging is expressed in each of our functional units, then eventually we'll get all of these pathological conditions depending on which tissue is affected. So here with Equicell, we are stating that as you reach the age of 28 years old, you are barely out of your young adult stage. So meaning to say, yung proliferation, potency ng iyong stem cell, lumiliit na. Okay? And as you age in this way, it becomes a leading risk factor for disease and death. So yun nga po. So what are those kinds of diseases that you might be encountering no kapag ito hindi nyo naayos yung hallmarks of aging? So you could the diseases ranging from cardiovascular diseases, dementia, cancer, even outcomes from COVID, a lot of things, osteoporosis, pulmonary diseases, diabetes, even depression, you have risk factors for that. Okay? So now we are offering these products, Mesencel and Reginate. Mesencel lang muna ang diniscuss ni Sir Gigo ngayon because what the ingredients, like what Sir Gigo has mentioned, all together, they have different tasks. They compensate or they complement, sorry for the term, they complement each other in balancing out whatever hallmarks of aging that we and diseases that we are encountering in our systems. So when you take them, they are able to give you the following benefits. No, they are able to induce DNA repair and bring back functionality of the structures of the cell. They are also able to activate telomerase activity. They also help in preventing epigenetic alteration or the tagging of the methyl group of the DNA. They also help maintain protein balance. They improve mitochondrial function. They are also involved in delaying cellular aging by, degrading all the unnecessary cells or senescent cells that is contributing, that is accelerating the aging process. And they help activate stem cells. So they bring back the signals, they provide those signals so that those cells that I mean those tissues that needs to be repaired or regenerated to improve or to upgrade or upregulate your vitality or your youth potential, they can do that. They activate stem cells, and with that, no, said, they also aid in intercellular functioning. So all of these are complementary to each other in bringing back everything that the cell needs, so that it can have a safe environment, like a young, safe environment, para mas lalo pang bumalik yung vitality niya and help you somehow pull you out from that risk of becoming of risk of getting all of these age-related conditions. So again, we have this stimulator. Ito pa pala, no? I would end my discussion with this. Any treatment, example, novel drug therapy, just like what happens in COVID pandemic. If we are to treat diseases with a novel or a new drug, we better be as sure as possible that we are not going to make people worse or avoid bad outcomes. So ibig sabihin, hindi dapat natin minamadali. No? Now, the exit strategy is that when people gets a reaction with the drug or with the pill, we are not to give them any more of that drug because it's disrupting anything, any intricate structure inside the body. Now, however, like what Doc Sheila has mentioned, stem cell therapy. So if you put stem cell or cells in the body, like that of the stem cell therapy, they're likely to hang around and they might stay where you put them, or they might not or might go somewhere. And if they go something if they go, something unexpected might happen and it could be bad. So we cannot um, regulate those stem cells that are placed in us if we do a stem cell therapy. On the other hand, no, ito rin, no, reminder din, the behavior of humans, kasi nga ang stem cell ngayon ay medyo ano sa market. The behavior of humans that as old as humanity is this: when something appears new and exciting, just like here, the stem cell thing, no, there's always a charlatan or fraud down the block who will try to sell you an imitation product. And that has been happening in spades with stem cells. So again, just like what Doc Sheila said, we are not selling stem cell. Okay, we are selling nutrients that will help activate the signals in our body to help bring back the vitality or that cellular youth potential to help us, survive or to help manage whatever hallmarks of aging and chronic diseases that we are experiencing. So again, we are not made of drugs. We are made of cells. Everything you'll ever need to know is within you. Remember the DNA. The secrets of the universe are imprinted on the cells of your body. We are not to disturb it. We just need to support how it functions. And with Equicell, that is what we do. That is what the products of Toxila does to our body, so that we can maintain the things that we need to maintain to become more productive in our generation. So again, thank you very much for listening, and I hope I was able to deliver kahit konti lang ng information as support to to Sir Gigo's presentation a while ago. And I hope everybody was able to understand what do you call this one, how our body works effective in with ang tawag dito, how our body works accordingly, no? Kasi it's deeply regulated by factors, no, that we need for our survival. So that's it. I hope anong oras na rin, no? Almost 11 na, and if Sir Gigo is there, and ang tawag dito, I hope Doc Sheila is still here.
Doc Chilo will speak for 10 minutes, Doc. Then.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay.
Doc Sheila, and we will be having a word from Doc Sheila. Thank you very much, everybody. Here's Doc Sheila, our CEO, who's going to give us a bit of her wisdom on the goodness of the stimulator and the beauty of the body. Take it away, Doc.
Yes, good evening po sa inyo lahat. Crystal family, good evening. Doc Lalaine, thank you so much for your explanation. Very passionate. And of course, let's not forget yung very passionate din na kasama natin. Sir Gigo, maraming salamat sa inyo. And again, Crystal
Welcome.
family, magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. So, I hope na may naitulong po itong presentation o discussion na ito. Mag-aalis lang ako ng candy. Anyway, just to summarize this on the layman terms, okay? Para bigyan ko lang po kayo ng summary kung ano itong mga napag-usapan natin. Kagaya po na nabanggit kanina ni Sir Gigo, I did not give him any document about the ingredients kasi I want him to discover the good things ng mga ingredients, kung paano yung function nila sa ating katawan. But anyway, there was a time na nagre-reklamo na si Sir Gigo, I can't find kung para saan ito. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, bro, hindi po pwedeng hindi mo makita kasi bago mo yan hinahanap, nagawa na yan. I don't want to spoon feed you on that. So anyway, thank you, Sir Gigo. Very nice explanation about the ingredients. Very passionate pa rin hanggang ngayon at hindi pa rin nagbabago.
Thank you.
So anyway, if I may, I would like to share a little thing sa inyo. Kasi I understand na hindi naman po tayong lahat ay science-based at medyo doon sa mga words na ginagamit namin, mga terminologies na ginagamit namin, medyo nakakadugo ng ilong. But, Doc Lalaine, if I may summarize kahit konti lang, would that be okay?
Yes, ma'am. Go
With
ahead.
your permission? Yeah. So ganito po yan, para magkaroon tayo ng, sa layman terms naman ako, I will not use any slides. Ano po. I will just explain what is in my mind when I formulate the product. First is, I would like to give you a definition o yung mga terminong ginagamit namin sa biology. Okay? So, number one is, kapag pinag-uusapan po ang replication, ibig pong sabihin nito ay, replication ay nagko-code or nagpo-program. Yun ang replication. Ngayon, kapag halimbawa naman yung duplication, ibig pong sabihin nun ay upang gayahin kung ano ang original. Hindi po ba sa mga branded na bags, kapag nireplika ang, halimbawa ang Louis Vuitton, ang termino po doon ay kahawig or kamukha ng original. So duplication is replica, kamukha ng original. Samantalang ang division naman sa biology, ibig pong sabihin ay upang mahati ng tigdadalawa. Magmula sa isa, mahahati ng tigdadalawa. Okay? Ginagamit po ang mga katagang division sa biology para dumami or mag-multiply. So kung walang division, ibig sabihin po ay walang multiplication or walang dadami. So yan ang pakahulugan ng division. Mayroon din naman ginagamit na mga termino na rejection. Ito naman po ang pakahulugan na ayaw, ang rejection, ayaw ng isa sa ayaw, inaayawan ng isa yung iba o nire-reject. Yun ang tawag sa rejection. Okay? Ngayon naman po ay magbibigay ako ng mga pangdagdag na lang na mensahe upang isummarize ang mga narinig natin kay Doc Lalaine at Sir Gigo patungkol sa ating bagong produkto na stimulator. Alright? So ang stimulator package po natin ay hindi pang stem cell, kagaya ng nabanggit ni Doc Lalaine. Dahil base po sa research, bago natin ito formulate, ay isinaalang-alang na natin ang action ng isang stem cell. Now, uumpisahan po natin ito sa mga trabaho ng ating mga genetic materials na gaya ng nabanggit ni Doc Lalaine. Tayong lahat po ay may DNA at ang DNA na ito ay responsable sa pagre-replika ng ating mga cells. Depende kung anong lahi ang pinanggalingan natin base sa mga lahing pinanggalingan din ng ating mga magulang. Kaya kung halimbawa ang isang tao ay pinaghihinalaan mo na kamag-anak, pero hindi ka sure, kung ipapa-DNA test mo po ang tao na yan at lalabas na pareho ang test ninyo dahil magkalahi kayo. Ibig sabihin, yung mga magulang ninyo, mga nakaraan, magkakalahi. Okay? So may nakuha pa ring lahi mo dun sa pinanggalingan na yun. Kung pinaghihinalaan mo yung isang tao, kamag-anak ko kaya ito, ipa-DNA test mo yan. Kung talagang kamag-anak mo yan, mayroon at mayroong lalabas doon sa kanyang DNA na kahawig nung sa iyo. So, yan po ang ginagawa ng DNA, okay? So, ibig sabihin, nagagawa ito ng DNA dahil gagamitin ng DNA yung kanyang segment na tinatawag na genes. So, ang isang DNA, may segment po yan na ang tawag doon ay genes. Na kung saan, ito nga po ang magbibigay ng kaalaman kung sino at kaninong lahi tayo nang galing. Kaya nga po may kasabihan kung minsan, kung anong ugali ng anak, ganun din ang ugali ng, kung makikita mo raw ang anak dahil sa magulang. Kasi nga po ay nasa dugo yan. Magkalahi yan sila. Alright? Ngayon, kapag na-program na po tayo ng DNA at ng genes, kung sino tayo, ang lahat ng mga codes na ito ay dadalhin naman nung isa pang segment o region ng DNA na tinatawag na chromosomes. Isang parte ulit ito ng DNA o region ng DNA. So, DNA, nasa dulo po ang chromosomes. Now, ang chromosomes ay ang responsable sa pagpapadala ng ating mga codes upang lamnan ang ating mga cells na kung saan ang mga laman ng ating mga cells gaya ng mitochondrial na nabanggit kanina ni Doc Lalaine, nucleus, cytoplasm, Golgi, mga ribosomes, liposomes na nasa loob ng ating mga cells. At ang mga ito po ang magpapaandar sa mga cells base sa instruction na i-program ni DNA. Hindi po ito maaaring palitan hanggang tayo ay mamamatay. Kung ano ang na-program sa atin noong ginagawa pa lang tayo hanggang sa mamatay tayo ay yun ang ating genes, okay? So yan ang ating genetic material. Tayo yung lahat po ay mayroon yan. Pero magkakaiba ang ating mga identity dahil nga po tayong lahat ay nanggaling sa iba't ibang mga uri ng lahi. So ngayon naman po ay papangalawahin ko ito. Okay? Ngayon naman po ay pag-uusapan o babanggitin ko kung paano nabuo ang isang tao sa pamamagitan ng cell. As you have heard kanina kay Dr. Lalaine, napaka-perpekto ng galaw ng ating cells. Alright? Ngayon, nabuo po tayong mga tao sa pamamagitan ng egg cell at sperm cell. Okay, egg cell ng ating nanay at sperm cell ng ating tatay. Ang dalawang cells po na ito, okay, ay magkikita sila doon sa tinatawag na fertilization. Okay? Pero hindi pa po buntis ang isang babae dito. Nagkita pa lang yung sperm cell at saka yung egg cell niya sa fertilization. Hindi pa ito buntis. Magmimit pa lang sila doon. Magmimit pa lang ang dalawang cells doon sa tinatawag na fertilization. So ngayon, nung nag-meet sila dito, sa loob ng 3 hanggang 5 araw, kukunin po ng DNA yung dalawang lahi na nagkita dito. Okay, kukunin ng DNA yung dalawang lahi na nagkita dito at gagawan niya ng program sa pamamagitan ng kanyang region, yung genes. Okay? Bibigyan niya ng program o i-code niya itong lahi na pinanggalingan ng nanay at tatay dito sa fertilized eggs na ito. Upang i-program kung anong lahi ng mga magulang o yung pinanggalingan ng egg at saka ng sperm cells at pagkatapos ay kokopyahin ang fertilized eggs kung saan nagkita ang dalawang sex cells ng ating nanay at tatay. So, kinakailangan pong ang lahat ng kopya ng nanay at tatay ay perpektong nakopya ng DNA dito sa na kinopya ng DNA sa fertilized eggs bago ito magkaroon ng kakayahang mahati. Ibig sabihin po ng mahati, babalikan ko yung definition kanina, mahati ay mahahati sa dalawa para magparami. Okay? Now, yung isang kalahati nito, yun yung nabanggit kanina ni Dr. Lalaine, yung isang kalahati dahil nahati ang fertilized eggs kasi coded na. Yung isang kalahati dito, yung kagaya ng nabanggit kanina ni Dr. Laling, ito yung magiging totipotent stem cell na kung saan ito po ay ang responsable sa pagbuo ng embryo ng isang babae. Okay? Sa bata. At habang lumalaki ang embryo na ito, patuloy itong nahahati ang mga cells na nandoon. Patuloy silang mahahati hanggang yung mga ibang kahati doon ay magiging mga pluripotent stem cells. Na kung saan, ang mga ito po ay sila namang responsable upang buuin ang panglabas na kaha ng embryo. So, ibig sabihin, wala pang, buntis na yung babae. O hindi pa buntis ang babae dito dahil 3 to 5 days pa lang. Wala pang heartbeat. Di ba? Wala pang heartbeat. So, hindi pa siya buntis. Ngayon, yung pluripotent stem cell na ito, itong pluripotent stem cell na ito na bumuo doon sa kaha ng embryo, habang patuloy na nabubuo ang embryo, patuloy din pong mahahati ang mga cells na nandoon, na mga pluripotent na stem cells na nandoon, na magiging mga progenitors o yung mga tinatawag na multipotent stem cell. So, tatlo na ang stem cells. Isang totipotent, toti maliliit, isang pluripotent, marami, at multi, napakadaming mga stem cells. Na kung saan itong multipotent stem cells na ito ay ang magiging descendants or hari ng mga stem cells sa ating katawan. Okay? Ngayon, itong mga multipotent stem cells na ito din ang magkakaroon ng kakayahan. Okay? Magkakaroon sila ng kakayahan dahil bibigyan sila ng kakayahan ni DNA. Tayo mga multipotent stem cells ang mayroong kakayahan gumawa ng iba't ibang mga cell types gaya ng sex cells, blood cells, nervous cells, epithelial cells, muscle cells, bone cells, immune cells, at mga fat cells na kung saan itong mga cells na ito ang bumuo sa ating mga tissues at organs sa ating katawan. Okay? Now, at dahil gawa po sa mga tissues, dahil gawa sa mga ang ating tissues at mga organs sa cells, kailangan itong si multipotent stem cells ay patuloy na gumawa ng maraming kopya niya upang magamit naman sa mga sandaling tumatanda na, nanghihina na, o nasisira na ang mga cells na ito na nasa ating mga tissues at organs dahil araw-araw po natin ginagamit ang ating mga cells na ito. Araw-araw habang buhay tayo, ginagamit natin ang mga cells na ito. Tandaan po natin, ang lahat ng mga cells na ginagawa o ang lahat ng mga cells na ginagawang kopya ni multipotent stem cells ay kinakailangang dumaan lahat. Walang exempted dito. Walang exemption. Kailangan ng lahat na ginagawang cells ni multipotent stem cells ay dumaan lahat sa DNA. Ipoproseso lahat ng DNA. Okay? Pati na rin yung kanyang segment ng genes at segment ng DNA na genes at region ng chromosomes upang sila ay i-program bago sila mahati or mag-multiply. Dahil kung hindi, ay wala silang silbi dahil wala silang task o wala silang laman o wala silang task na magagawa sa ating katawan kung hindi sila dadaan sa DNA. Alright? So ngayon, heto na po tayo ngayon kung para saan ba talaga ang ating stimulator na product. Alright? If I have mentioned, ang stem cell, sila po ang gumagawa ng mga cells sa ating katawan. Gumagawa sila ng cells sa ating katawan. Kung baga sa sasakyan, sila yung gumagawa ng kaha ng sasakyan. Pero ang paggawa nila ng kaha o ng kaha ng sasakyan o yung mga cells, empty o mga blank state cells, ay every 7th year lang ng ating buhay. Tuwing ika-7 taon lamang sila nagre-regenerate ng maraming cells. Pero remember, what they are regenerating are still wala pang makina, kaha pa lang. Okay? So, Ang mga stem cells ay every 7th year lang sila gumagawa ng mga kaha ng ating mga cells. Okay? Wala pang codes o wala pang makina ang mga ito. At pagkatapos gumawa ng stem cell na ito, every 7th year, magpapahinga na lang. I do not know if you remember, ang sabi ng mga matatanda, isineselebrate daw ang ika-7 taon ng ating buhay dahil yun ang cycle. But in science, it is because the stem cell is actually regenerating cells, gumagawa ng cells every 7th year. Kasi every 7th year, ang lifespan ng ating mga cells bago sila tumanda, manghina at masira. Yun yung panahon na gagawa si stem cell upang may pangpalit. But bago sila magiging kapalit ng mga nandiyan ng mga cells, kailangan munang lahat ay dumaan sa DNA, sa genes at chromosomes upang mabigyan sila ng makina. Alright? So, I hope nasusundan po ninyo ako. Pero, okay, lahat yan dadaan lahat sa DNA, sa genes at saka sa chromosomes upang malagyan ng makina yung mga sasakyan o yung mga cells na ginawa ni stem cells every 7th year. Now, ang DNA, genes at chromosomes naman, ang maglalagay ng makina doon sa mga empty o mga wala pang laman o wala pang makinang mga cells na yan. Okay? Ang DNA, ang stem cell kasi every 7th year, pahinga na siya. But the DNA is working 24/7 in our body. Ang trabaho ng DNA araw-araw sa ating buhay, within 24 hours every day, kinukuha niya yung mga ginawa ni stem cell na mga cells na wala pang code, wala pang makina, kinukuha niya yon every day. Kinukuha niya ang kinukuha niya ay 6.4 billion pieces of cells na ginawa ni stem cell na lalagyan niya ng code. Ipoprogram niya upang magkaroon ng laman at magkaroon ng task sa katawan. Okay? So, stem cell will take a rest, but the DNA is working 24/7 in our body. Alright? Ngayon, sa araw-araw na pagtatrabaho or pagko-code ni DNA sa mga 6.4 billion cells na yan na kailangan nating araw-araw upang pangpalit sa mga nanghihina, tumatanda at nasisirata ang ating mga cells, araw-araw na ginagawa yan, na trabaho ni DNA. At dahil sa araw-araw niyang pagtatrabaho, okay, may mga naiipit na mga cells na kung saan hindi kumpleto ang kanilang mga codes or makina. May naiipit dahil araw-araw nagtatrabaho ang DNA. Subalit, kahit na may naipit o hindi kumpleto ang kanilang makinarya sa loob, ang mga cells na yon ay nahahati pa din o nagmumultiply pa din ang mga ito na nagiging dahilan upang lumiit ang size ng cap ng ating chromosomes o yung telomeres na tinatawag. So, kapag may mga nagmumultiply na mga cells na hindi sapat ang kanilang codes dahil naipit sila, nagiging dahilan yon upang lumiit ang cap ng ating telomeres o ng ating chromosomes. Alright? Ngayon, kapag lumiliit na yung size o yung cap ng ating telomeres, ito na po yung palatandaan na ang isang tao ay pumapasok na doon sa tinatawag nilang aging process or tumatanda na ang katawan. At nag-uumpisa po yan by normal na mechanism ng ating katawan, nag-uumpisa yan kapag tayo ay nagkakaedad ng 28 years old. Napapabilis lang po ang prosesong ito na pagtanda kahit wala pang 28 years old. Napapabilis lang po ito dahil sa ating makabago, modernong pamumuhay at pagkain ngayon. Lifestyle and foods. Kaya napapabilis ang pagtanda o yung prosesong yan. Okay? So, ang ating lifestyle ay nagiging dahilan upang magkaroon ng dysfunction ang ating DNA na kung saan may naiipit. Okay? kahit na walang lifestyle, normal process yan sa katawan. Pero napapabilis lang dahil nagtitrigger ang mga lifestyle behavior natin. Kaya napapabilis. Sana po malinaw yun sa inyo. Okay? Now, ang epekto sa katawan ng pagliit ng cap ng ating mga chromosomes o yung telomeres ay siyang nagiging dahilan ng pagbaba ng kapasidad upang ang mga cells ay hirap o hindi na makapag-divide or mag-multiply or makapagpadami. Okay, let's go back to the definition. Without multiplication, without division or multiplication is equal to less or no more other cells that can replace those cells na tumatanda, nanghihina at nasisira sa ating mga organs at tissues. Okay? Na kung saan ay nag-uumpisa na tayong manghina din ang ating katawan because our body is made up of cells. Kung walang pangpalit, matanda yung mga cells. Kung matanda ang cells, matanda ka biological. Bata ka pa pero matanda ka. Alright? So, ibig sabihin, without multiplication or without division or multiplication is equal to less or no more other cells that can replace those cells na tumatanda, naghihina, at nasisirang mga cells sa ating mga tissues and organs. Na kung saan, kapag ganun ang nangyayari, ay nag-uumpisa na tayong manghina din ang ating katawan dahil walang pangpalit at kalaunan ay nagkakasakit na ang ating mga organs or may sakit nang lumalabas sa ating katawan. Okay? So, ang ibig sabihin ng prosesong ito ay aging process. Maaari itong mangyari kahit sa isang taong 30 anyos pa lang, bata pa ang edad, chronologically bata pa, pero biologically matanda na ang makina ng kanyang katawan. Okay? So, kaya dyan po pumapasok yung mga problemang ito is actually, it was started when I was 10 years old. And then stem cell came, stem cell, it is where they started researching stem cell. Kasi stem cell is a belief na it can regenerate a lot of cells so that there will be a replacement to those old, sick, and injured cells. It is a belief. But they have forgotten one thing. Okay? Na kahit mag-produce pa ng mag-produce si stem cell, kung sira, kahit mag-produce pa ng mag-produce ng makina, ay ng kaha si stem cell, kung sira ang magmamanufacture para lagyan, kung sira ang facility para lagyan sila ng makina, sira din ang end products. Okay? So, ngayon, diyan nga po pumapasok ang pamagat ng isang stem cell dahil siya itong gumagawa ng mga cells upang magkaroon ng pangpalit. Pero hindi po ba, base sa mga explanation kanina, ang mga cells nga na gagawin ni stem cell ay wala pang codes. Ang mga ito, kung hindi nasa mga blank state pa silang lahat. Kung baga sasakyan nga po, kaha pa lang ng sasakyan pero wala pang makina upang umandar ang mga ito. Upang magkaroon sila ng makina, kinakailangan nilang dumaan sa proseso ni DNA, genes at chromosomes upang mabigyan sila ng laman or makina upang gumana ng naaayon kung paano sila na-code or na-program sa ating katawan. E ang kaso nga po, defective na itong pagtatrabaho ni DNA at lumiit na din ang cut ni chromosomes or telomeres kaya hindi sila nabibigyan ng tamang makina. Alright? Kung hindi tama ang kanilang makina, so kung hindi tama ang kanilang makina, still magdi-divide pa rin naman ang mga, magmapapadami pa na rin naman ang mga yan, kagaya ng nabanggit kanina. Kung hindi tama ang makina, wala ding saysay kahit gumawa pa ng gumawa ng maraming cell system cells kung ang mga yon ay kulang naman sa makinarya upang umandar sila. Ang problema dito, kapag dumami ng dumami yung mga kulang na codes, ang nagpapadami, you know the meaning of cancer. It is uncontrollably errors sa loob ng katawan dahil kulang ang kanilang mga sangkap bilang tama at maayos na cells, pero nahahati pa rin they can become or they can create another stem cells in the body, which is known as the cancer stem cells. Okay? So, ang talagang problema po dito ay ang pagliit ng cap ng telomeres. Okay? Pagliit ng cap ng chromosomes o yung telomeres. Kaya walang nangyayaring divisions. Kasi ang errors, hindi sila pwedeng magpadami. Ay, hindi, ang errors, hindi, ang pagliit ng cap ng telomeres ay nagiging dahilan upang pati yung division ng tamang codes, kasi meron din namang tama, na nagpapahirap na. Okay? So, ibig sabihin ko, nito, kahit hindi tama ang codes, nagpapadami sila. Pero meron din namang tama ang codes na magpapadami din. Kaya lang yung mga tama ang codes, hirap na silang magkaroon ng division sa section ng DNA. So kung walang division, walang multiplication sa tama. Ang nagpapadami yung mali. So you know what I mean, kung anong sakit na lalabas dyan. Ibig sabihin, kung yung mga tama, hirap na silang mag-divide, yun na rin yung tinatawag na walang pampalit sa mga cells na tama, walang pampalit sa mga cells na nasisira, tumatanda, o nanghihina na nasa ating mga tissues and organs. So, by definition, kung may sakit ang ating mga cells, may sakit ang ating katawan kasi our body is made out of cells. It is the building blocks of our life, of our body, di ba? So, ito po ang gusto ko linawin. Kaya nga po ang stimulator natin, sorry ha, nangatilalamunan ko. Kaya nga po ang stimulator package natin ay hindi po siya pang stem cell. Okay? Kasi hindi problema ang paggawa ng mga cells. Hindi problema ang paggawa ng mga cells. Ang tunay na may problema ay yung gumagawa ng makina ng mga cells. Okay? Hindi problema ang paggawa ng mga cells. Every 7th year ka lang magtatrabaho, nagre-reklamo ka pa. Hindi siya problema. Ang problema ay yung naglalagay ng laman sa mga cells kung paano sila gumana. Okay? Ang problema ng stem cells ay pang 3rd degree lang sa actual na problema ng katawan ng tao kung bakit siya tumatanda. Pag tumatanda, may sakit. Okay? Ano ba ito? Nangatilalamunan ko. So, kaya nga po ang stimulator natin ay hindi siya pang stem cell. Kasi hindi nga po problema ang paggawa ng mga cells. Pang 3rd degree lang ang problema kay stem cells. Ang pinuno ng problema ay ang mismong makinarya natin na si DNA, telomeres, at genes. Defective sila at hindi tama ang nalalagay na code sa mga cells. So nahihirapan silang makapagpadami at ang depektibong prosesong ito ay ang tinatawag na advanced aging biologically. Ibig sabihin, bata pa pero matanda na ang makinarya. So, kapag walang pampalit sa mga cells, magkakasakit sila, and by nature, magmamanifest po yun sa ating katawan, ang sakit na yon. Okay? So, kapag sira ang makinarya, lahat na gagawing cell ni stem cell ay sira din. At ang mga sirang yon ay isa sa mga magbibigay ng sakit sa mga iba pang organs at mga cells natin hanggang sa hindi na mapigilan ang malawakang pagkasira ng mga cells na yan sa ating katawan na tinatawag naman ni Sir Gigo na cellular senescence na nauuwi sa maagang pagpanaw ng tao. Okay? So, ang isang tao po ay designed to live up to 135 years old. So kapag 70 years old na ang isang tao ay parang ang tanda-tanda na sa tingin natin dahil mahina na siya o hindi nakapareho ang lakas niya noong 30 years old siya. 30 years old pa lang siya. Samantalang kung titingnan natin ang lifespan ng tao, nasa kalagitnaan pa lang po siya ng edad na 135 years old. Bakit? Dahil po yun sa depektibong makinarya ng ating katawan. Again, ang pagiging depektibong makinarya ng ating katawan is a natural process. Napapadali lang because of the behavior in our lifestyle. Okay? But, sasabihin mo, ayos naman ang lifestyle ko. But Who doesn't have cell phone nowadays? With all the radiations we have. Who doesn't have computer? Sino pa ang nakakalanghap ng malinis na hangin? Sino pa ang nakakakain ng tamang sustansya? Sino ang hindi nakakakain ng chemicals ngayon kahit sa tubig lang? Those are factors that give triggers, for the acceleration or the advanced aging biologically nowadays. Alright? So, sana po malinaw yung mga yan. And ang stimulator po ay the first perspective of a stimulator is actually, once again, not for stem cell regeneration. Okay? It is to delay or mapigilan ang proseso ng pagtanda ng makinarya ng ating katawan. Or stimulator is actually formulated to delay the aging process of our genetic materials. Alright? So, itong stimulator package na ito, pang-delaying process na kung saan kapag walang delay na nangyari, it may cost, it will become what's so-called biological aging that causes of many accumulated diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, heart disease, neurodegenerative diseases, cancer, and many, many more. Okay? Dito po sa atin sa EcoCell, we are not offering this product to extend the lifespan ng tao. Ito po ay upang ma-enjoy mo naman ang iyong lifespan na may kasama kang health span. Palagay ko, mas magandang makita po natin ang ating mga apo na kung saan kapag naglambing na mag-outing ay makasama pa natin kesa naman sa condemn na ang ating katawan sa higaan. Aanhin mo pa ang pinagtrabahuan mo ngayon kung hindi ka naman makagalaw dahil nakatali na ang katawan mo sa higaan. Okay? So ayan po ang maitutulong ng ating stimulator package pang-delay aging process. Don't you worry about stem cell. Kasi kung maayos ang genetic material mo na nagko-code, stem cell will follow its function of regeneration. As I told you, stem cell function, stem cell job is just to regenerate cells. But unfortunately, those cells are in a blank state, wala pang laman. DNA ang may trabaho. So, gaya po nang nabanggit kanina ni Dr. Lalaine, huwag po tayong magpapaloko o maniniwala sa mga stem cells regenerations na nasa iba't ibang platform ng marketing. Dahil kung sira ang genetic materials, walang kwenta itong stem cell kahit mag-regenerate. Alright? So, ayan po ang ating stimulator package for delaying aging process, returning the cap of our telomeres, and finally, for stem cell regeneration, yung tama. Or pang-longevity po, itong produkto natin. Ang ating stimulator is for longevity. Ibig sabihin, longer vitality. Habang tumatanda tayo, nandyan ang ating vitality. Okay? So, it is not for stem cell. It can, but third degree. First is para ito sa ating DNA, sa ating telomeres, yung cap ng telomeres, and for regeneration. Dahil kung wala ang dalawa na to, kahit gumana ka, it will not function properly. All right? So I hope this is the easiest way I can translate to all of you kung para saan talaga ang ating stimulator. At sana po ay makapagbigay ng kaalaman itong mga nagawang discussion na ito mula pa kanina kay Sir Gigo, kay Doc Lalaine, and kahit konti lang po dito sa akin. We will appreciate because once again, what we are aiming dito is to educate you more. But sometimes we could not translate the terms into lay terms dahil mahirap talaga ang mga technical terms pagdating po sa siyensa. But I hope this will be a blessings to all of you. And once again, alam ko gabi na, maraming salamat po sa oras ninyo. And I'll see you next time. Doc Lalaine, maraming salamat sa oras ninyo.
Yay! Thank you very much. Take it from the CEO herself. So thank you very much po to everyone who have attended this third session We we will be doing
Yeah.
two more of this. We will be posting our schedule, so you can invite or you wait for the announcement on our official Facebook page so that you can join again and you can encourage everybody na hindi pa nakakarinig nito so that we can spread more information and awareness on how to execute or deliver the goodness of Stemulator. Sir Gigo, if you have few words to add also, go ahead.
Yeah, Doc Sheila really explained very well, and it's some of them were new to me. Sorry, I say, but it's actually very simple. If you follow the laws of nature, you can go seldomly very wrong.
Yeah.
We Dr. Laling and Sheila explained very well that we aid the processes inside the human body. And we leave it to God kung kaya pa, lalo na kung may sakit. Kasi
Yeah, of
pagka
course.
walang rules, you don't follow the rules there are rules. You follow nature's rules. You follow nature's products. Eh, kung ano in-invento mo for marketing, you might get some ground, but wala, people are
Yeah.
going to be sick. Yeah. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
everybody, for your night.
Yeah. By the way, now I think some of you will ask, what about those products that we have? Kagaya ng
Oh,
Ultima,
yeah.
kagaya ng
Yeah.
Spirulina, kagaya ng mga ibang products. Kung
Yes, yeah.
papahabulin ko kayo, ano po? Actually, as I said nga, I knew that. Let's say I knew that 6 years ago. Okay, because we are in this field for so many years and we have encountered a lot of things. A lot of happened, na nangyari na those people who are sick, let's say cancer, they're good for 10 years. After that, it's coming back. Despite patuloy silang umiinom ng ating mga unang mga naging produkto. You know why? They thought they are cured because they are okay. What is the reflections na okay ka? When you mobilize your body, you feel good. You think you are cured, but you are actually not. Because, as I said before, Spirulina, Ultima, let's put Total Care, Virakilo, whatsoever. Okay? Lahat ng mga products natin. If you take those products, you will have an immediate effect in your body. It will give you a powerful energy to mobilize, to move yourself. You will have the convenience. Lalakas ka kaagad because the body is in need at that time. Okay? Kailangan ng katawan. So you will feel immediately the relief, the convenience, yung kaginhawaan at energy. Na in like manner, ang akala ng tao gumaling siya. Pero, kaya siya nakakaramdam ng ganyan, samantalang may sakit siya sa kabilang banda na nakocoveran yung sakit niya. Imbis na mag-progress yung sakit, hindi nagpo-progress kasi nagiging okay ang katawan. Pero the disease is still there. Now, if you summarize everything, all of those products that we have, even if you take it for 1 year, there is only 12.2% repairing the damage. Napakaliit. Kasi ginagamit na ng katawan mo. Ano pa naman ang action nun para pang-repair? Wherein this one will complement because this is really the repairing action. This is the repairing one. The other one is for your everyday energy convenience. And if you are diagnosed with a disease, use this for your repair. Because you cannot take all, you cannot do, other product cannot do much. Hindi nakakayanin yan ng lahat-lahat. All right? Although we have experienced other patients na hindi na nagkasakit. Maybe the damage is less to what we are expecting. Diba? And thanks God, they are good. They are still okay. Diba? But, Sir Gigo, we have experienced a lot of cancer patients. Some of them, they're good until now. But some of them, no. I think nasa level yan kung kung ano ang status ng damage ng mga panahon na hinawakan natin sila. Right? So now this product, if you think that you have a kind of, nasa 40 ka na, medyo parang akala mo mahina na yata ako. Parang akala mo lagi ako nahihilo. Parang akala mo may lagnat ako. Bakit parang akala mo hypertensive na ako, tumataas ng blood pressure ko? Bakit parang akala mo tumataas na ang sugar ko? Bakit nasa lahi namin ang cancer? Take this product. Hindi pa huli ang lahat. Upang i-repair kung ano ang problema genetically sa iyo. Okay? Huwag mong bibitawan yung isa. Kasi yung isa, kailangan mo siya everyday para i-move niya yung katawan mo. Walang nagre-repair na nag-move. Kumbaga, ikaw lang. Meron kang pang-move ng iyong katawan. Kasi pagising mo sa umaga, remember all the time, hindi cellphone ang bitbit natin pagising natin sa umaga. Ang katawan natin ang bitbit natin. So you take care of yourself. Diba? I will not be the best advisor on this because I know how whack my lifestyle is. Okay? So, but the good thing is we're still here. I think for this year, I will be stopping this research because I think I get what I need for now. And thanks, of course, science is evolving. Okay? I know this before, but I do not know how to start until such time I studied the degenerative. And for 3 years, meron na naman po tayong napag-aralan. And it is the time to share with you. I just got my diploma last June in Europe. So we are only 17 in this field. At pasalamat po tayo meron dito sa Pilipinas. At kasama nyo ngayon. Alright? So again, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Sir Gigo. Maraming salamat. And I know,
Wow.
again, Sir Gigo, we know Sir Gigo and I, because we've been together for quite some time, 2 dekada na. We know where we are going. We know what is our perspective. We are not looking for anything. We just want to share. And I believe by sharing this, at least we will leave something. We will leave something in this universe that will exist kahit kami ay mag-iba na ng status, kahit mag-migrate kami sa ibang lugar. I mean, kahit na mawala kami, may maiiwan dito. And thank you, Dr. Lalaine. I know you are next in line on this and you are very passionate on this. Maraming salamat sa iyo. And again, yes, Egrisel family, it is from our heart. This is not a simple job. This is not a simple job. No, because we are inside the platform of MLM, but our heart is more than there, not in this platform. Our heart is really to disseminate a good health in this universe. Okay? So again, maraming salamat at marami ako nakikitang mga nagpa-pop up na mga message. Maraming salamat sa inyo, sa inyong tiwala. Again, we will always be here. Kami nila Sir Gigo, Doc Lalaine. Maraming salamat sa inyo and I'll see you next time. I hope I did not disturb you for 20 minutes, Doc Lalaine. And
Yes po.
once again, thank you so much to you. And give a big hand then kay Dr. Lalaine and Sir Gigo.
We are
Let's
still
give a
in the
big
office.
hand. I am in my office. Okay? So yan, maraming salamat sa inyo. So you can end na, Doc Lalaine?
Yes po. So everybody, thank you very much. And we will be sending out again a survey form so that we can get your feedback on how to improve or what did you enjoy most. Okay, so that we will keep on improving how we introduce or how we educate you within our our community. So thank you very much din po, Sir Gigo, for
By
that
the way,
energy.
Doc Lalaine,
Yes, ma'am.
Doc Lalaine,
Yes po.
our
Thank you, Doc.
stimulator
Thank
is
you,
not for stem cell, okay? It is
Yes.
for
Yes.
for longevity, anti-aging.
Right.
Okay, so it's not the stem cell. As I said, the stem cell is just the 3rd degree.
Yes.
This is very clear. Ever since I started this formulation, it is not for stem cell because I know it is just a 3rd degree problem of nowadays. All right? So, yan na lagay na lang natin dyan. So, Gigo, would that be clear?
Fantastic, Doc. We're so blessed to have you, Dr. Rain. It's just amazing that, as I mentioned kanina, anybody can research this, but the frustration, where are you going to get it? It's out there. All this information for 50 years, and nandyan yan. And only made Doc Sheila is making it available to everybody. Such a precious gift. Thank you very much. Eh? Thank you, sis, Doc Tony. Amazing.
Thank you so much, Gigo. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So have a good night rest, everyone, and see you next time.
Yes,
Good
see you
night.
next time. Good night, everybody. You can just
Good night,
Good night.
everyone. Have a good night rest. Good night. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Alright.
Thank
Thank you
you,
for
Doc
your
Sheila.
time.
Thank
Thank
Bye-bye.
you,
you.
Sir Gigo.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Doc Lale.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
By the way, shout
Bye-bye.
out. Shout out ako sa Luzon group and of course sa Mindanao group. Ayon Eagle,
Here.
shout out sa inyo. Team Phoenix, shout out sa inyo. Team Dragons, shout out sa inyo. I love you all.
Wow.
I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Yay. Thank you. Good
Ma'am
night.
Digen, hello po.